Bigger, better, bolder. The cold, hard truth is taking talk to the next level. Right here on Bobo 89.1 FM, Cayman's community radio.
We are still spilling the tea.
And committed to being part of the change that Cayman so desperately needs. Join Sandy Hill weekdays from 7:30 a.m. for Premier Access, Cayman Voices, Truthful Thursdays, and much more. Cayman's #1 talk show is now bigger, better, bolder, and more than talk. Getting results with hot topics, consumer reports, court exposés, and more.
I've come to set the record straight. I've come to shine the light on you. Let me introduce myself. I am the cold, hard truth.
Now, from the CMR studio in Grand Cayman,
Live, direct.
it's the cold, hard truth. Now, join the conversation on 345-936-2626.
That number again is
345-936-2626.
People talking. What are they talking about? This world's gone crazy, and I'm trying to find a way out. Nobody knows where we're going, or if we're going at all. Nobody cares if we stand, if we have nowhere to fall. It's a singing symphony, playing as the ship goes down. It's a porcelain epiphany, breaking if it hits the ground. I gotta find a way out. So many questions answered without an answer to tell. Too many things on my mind for anything to go well.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, K-Man. How is everyone doing? Happy Friday. I was kind of thinking about not being here today, making a quick in and out trip to Miami, and I said, nah, I'm good. Trying to get my content creators still sorted out with a few little things here and there, And boy, oh boy, oh boy. Good thing I'm here, I guess. I'm not so sure if it's gonna be a good thing or not, but we are going to get into it with a degree of honesty this morning. Let me turn on the air conditioning because I'm already feeling hot and bothered, honey child. Why does it say 73 and I still feel so hot? Lord Jesus. All right. Everybody good? Class starting to fill up. I see y'all. So good to see you. So we got to talk about some things this morning. And I'm going to preface some of my comments, as I often do. Well, when you're in a public seat, media in particular, you really have to think about the things that you say and the things that you do. This is me included, Trust me. There's some of you, when I see you out in the streets doing the most, I am tempted to react and say certain things, and I pull back. Y'all might find it hard to believe, but I leave people alone because I know that because I sit in this seat, and I mean a virtual seat and a physical seat, there are certain expectations as it relates to my behavior. Yes? I would think that that would be common sense, but after I received a message last night, it appears to me that it's not common sense and that we need to have a conversation about this. Okay? So let's talk about it. On Tuesday's show, you guys will remember we spent some time talking about a carnival and the outfits that some of these young ladies, I'm going to use that term very loosely, were out here wearing. And I made it clear, I'm not trying to body shame anybody. I think that people come in all shapes and sizes, and people are beautiful despite their size. Some of the most beautiful people I know are large women because they carry themselves well, right? They're always presentable. Now, should they lose a good 100 pounds, 150 pounds to be healthier? Of course. Just like I need to lose 50 pounds to be healthier. And I'm not offended when people say to me, Sandy, you're carrying some extra weight, you're fat. Because guess what? That's the truth. And one thing I know for sure is that we now live in a world where everyone wants to sugarcoat the truth. We use mental health as an excuse for everything now. We can't even have honest conversations anymore because we might impact someone's mental health. Now, I think most of you will know where I stand when I say that we have truthful conversations here. There are times that I'm sure we hurt people's feelings. That is not the intent. But the intent is to have truthful and honest conversations. So over the weekend, I'm sitting here getting messages from all sorts of people from all different walks of life, talking about what these people are wearing out here in the streets for Carnival. And I'm just like, oh Lord, again. We've had the conversation before. But when you guys still sending it to me, it becomes a conversation in the community. It becomes a conversation on CMR because people are talking about it. This show is not the Let's Hide the Truth show. It is the Cold Hard Truth show. And so what that means is that whatever is being discussed in the community becomes part and parcel of the discourse here on this show, even if it is about Carnival. Okay? So I'm a bit confused as to why someone who has been featured in or on the show about what they're doing in public, in a public space, all of a sudden feels the need to attack me into name call. So I'm going to break it down this morning. Some of y'all listening like, Auntie, what are you talking about? We don't have a clue. Okay, not a problem. I was at home last night entertaining a little company, minding my own business as I really, really like to do, when all of a sudden I got this message from someone and I was a bit confused. And there's a young lady who apparently put something up on TikTok, a video, because I guess she may have felt a way about the comments that were made about her. Now, to me, this was a bit weird because of all of the people that we actually discussed, I said that this young lady was, in my opinion, the most appropriately dressed of the ones that I saw, in terms of, you know, she had on a carnival outfit, but it actually fit her, right? It covered her parts. So maybe she felt a way about it. I'm not really sure. You know, it's so funny because sometimes we'll say things on this program that people call me, oh, I heard you said about me. And I said, you heard it. You heard it from where? Did you actually go listen to it yourself? Because what happens a lot of times is people will hear something from someone else and it don't actually go so. So I'm like, where did you hear it from? Did you listen to the show? Did you put it in context in terms of what I was saying? So those of you who listened to Monday's show, you will recall that I said this young lady here I thought was appropriately dressed. Now, she's not the skinniest of the group, and this is probably what I said on Monday, and I'm not lying, right? I mean, if you compare her to some of the other pictures that we were looking at beforehand, I wouldn't call her skinny. I wouldn't say she's fat either. So does she have a body like this? No. Daniela is very skinny, you know? And I think this young lady is beautiful. I think she's appropriately dressed. Her bottom fits. I've seen other pictures of the back of it. It covered her, you know what, her behind, her feathers, her shoes, everything about this outfit to me said this is a beautiful outfit. This works. I wasn't offended by her outfit. You know, she looked beautiful. So again, I don't know if she watched the show. Big shout out to, oh gosh, what's her name again? Hold on. I still won't tell you because she actually commented on the Instagram. And she did say that I didn't actually say anything negative about her. But this is where now the story takes a very, very interesting turn. Because she posted this video, and I'm going to show you guys the video, and I'm going to show you how it ended. Another young lady from the Compass decided to jump into the conversation. Nobody wasn't talking about her in this post. That let me get this young lady's name. What's her name again? Oh Lord, hold on. No, hold on. Trying to find the post. Her name is Mm, oh, Lord, have mercy. Rhonda. So, yeah, somebody said Rhonda rocked the hell out of that outfit. Maybe she never had on her glasses. I said that Rhonda looked great. And I stand by that today. I didn't say anything negative about Rhonda's outfit. And when I went to her Instagram and I looked at even more of her pictures, because I didn't see the back of the outfit. As you remember, I was saying, I don't know what the back of these outfits actually looked like. Rhonda looked great. And I'm going to show you guys a little side by side of what we're talking about here. Okay? So Rhonda was enjoying herself, having a good time. And now that I see her Instagram, I can see the back of her outfit. And I stand by what I said on Monday, that Rhonda's outfit is beautiful and appropriate. The conversation that we were having on Tuesday's show was about appropriateness. And I said, some of these young ladies, yes, they have amazing bodies and they look good, but they are not dressed appropriately for the streets of Cayman. Okay? So let me show you by example, because I got to break it down to y'all. Oh, oops, sorry. See this picture here? This is a screenshot from a video. What Rhonda is wearing on the back, now that I see the back of it, is appropriate. And it does not take away from her outfit in any way, shape, or form. Her outfit remains a beautiful carnival outfit. Yes, I have a problem with the fact that these outfits are getting skimpier and skimpier every single year. Okay? The young lady next to her in pink, although I can't see the front of her outfit, from the back of her outfit, I can say that this outfit is appropriate. The other young lady on the other side who's wearing floss, okay, it's in between her butt cheeks. That is not an appropriate outfit for the streets. And in fact, if the police wanted to actually enforce the laws in Cayman, they could say something about people who are wearing these flossy outfits, but they choose, in the name of carnival, and I guess having drunken people run up and down the streets of Cayman and having a good time once a year, they choose to ignore the decency laws that are still on the books about wearing this type of outfit on the streets. If you're wearing this at your public pool or anything else, that's your business. But when you're in a public space, there are rules of decency, believe it or not, because some of y'all don't know, that actually apply to you. Jim says, yes, you did. You said nothing wrong. Matter of fact, you complimented her. So I don't know if this young lady kind of felt away about, me saying she might not be the skinniest of the bunch, which she isn't. That's a fact. But she still looks amazing. And there's nothing wrong. I'm not saying that she is fat. What I'm saying is she's bigger than the others. She wore what was appropriate for her body. She looked amazing. And so that's it. So she did a little TikTok video.
28 years young, 20 million.
This is her working out in the gym. I'm glad that she's healthy as well. She's doing some serious stuff there, girl. You go ahead. Pull-ups. You see them pull-ups? That's very important. There she is at Pilates. And then she ends it with this. She said, gets called plus size and CMR. Now, I don't know if I called her plus size. I'll be honest with you. I would have to go back and actually get the transcripts from the show to see if I actually use that term. But if I did, I can use it again and I can stand by it this morning in the sense that I don't know what size she wears. I mean, she might be a size medium, I would guess. But she's not extra small and she's not a small. So contextually speaking, we did this in order, right? So I said, compared to this, she's not this size. And yet I still think that her outfit, Rhonda's outfit, was more appropriate. Okay. And it has nothing to do. And yes, absolutely, she's a beautiful young lady. And I even said, listen, Daniela is a beautiful young lady. I don't have anything wrong. I don't, most of these young ladies, I don't even know. And I think they are beautiful. Good morning, caller.
Yeah, hi, morning, Sandy.
Morning, dear. How are you?
I'm good, and I trust that you and your family are also doing well.
Yes, sir.
Sandy, when I saw this, I think it was last week. Sometime you were talking about something that triggered a thought, and then Tuesday this topic came to light, and I want to touch on this, and I'm so happy to hear the discussion this morning on the concern about decency and how society can stretch. And I want to share at the end the implications to our youth. These carnivals don't take place once a year. There are multiple variations of these carnivals. I don't even know their names. I think there's 3 or 4 different variations throughout the year.
Mm-hmm. Well, we have 2, and honestly, the government needs to combine these 2 because we're probably the only country that fooling around with 2 carnivals because people can't get along. So we have Bada and we have K-Mass. And I guess some people do the same thing for Pirates Week too. They pretend like that's another carnival.
So yeah, I would include the annual Pirates. But here's the thing. So the discussions normally on these subjects are how beautiful the women are.
Mm-hmm. And that has nothing to do with it, really.
Well, unfortunately, it does, Andy. Unfortunately, the focus is the costumes. But I personally, I can tell you, I was driving Saturday afternoon, dropping off some, from church. And I saw that same very young lady. I think you said she works at the Compass. Mm-hmm. And my chin just dropped when I saw her. Mm. I'm a male, right? So here's a concern. And I know that you have some posts and different things but please, before you do, just hear what I'm going to share. Mm-hmm. What are the impact on the children? Here's why this is so important. We have, when I say we, I talk about a nation. We have I can't remember the name of it. There's a children's version to it, right? And so focus is on our females, and we have such a hypersexualized commodity nation. It's not just here; it's everywhere.
Yes.
And then we teach our children stepping stones that exposes them to become comfortable with nudity. Now, here's where part you will have a challenge. If you start to have men dressing themselves similar to the females, you would have a community outburst, as you should. Here's an example. I've seen some ludicrous things happen where men are dressing naked, but they have these stocking little things on their genitals. Okay? You saw that at any of these public displays. You would have, and you should have, a public outcry. Okay? The question is, why would you? Why would you? Why should you outcry if you see males now start dressing themselves naked and having stockings on their genitals, chasing behind these young ladies, and allowing them to see that? This is so very wrong in training our children into what's already a hypersexualized sexual commodification of our bodies. I think it's really a time for us to take account and realize the effect this is facing mostly on our female.
And you know what? We made this comment on Monday when I said that we don't see the men, and we even, I found a couple of pictures of the men at the same event, and by and large, I didn't see any men dressing like this. So this really says a lot about, as a culture and as a society, how we think of ourselves as women, like you say, this hypersexuality that is permissible and allowed, and it's okay in the name of feminism, in the name of not body shaming, all kind of stuff. Listen, I consider myself probably by many standards a feminist, and still I think that these outfits have gone too far in the wrong direction.
Way too far. And that's where I was going to go with it, right? So I don't want to take up too much more time, but I thank you, Sandy, for bringing this up. And ladies, wherever you are, this is not an attack on you. This is actually a defense for you, for your integrity, for the children's integrity. Here's why. Those men that you see standing, dressing decently, now at the time, they're looking. But I can assure you, after a few drinks, and by the way, you put this behavior with alcohol is not good. And
oh my gosh, yes. And there are women who are groped at these events and they just take it as part of like, oh, it's just acceptable. Women sometimes are even sexually assaulted at these events. When you go to other countries where it's a much larger event, there is a general warning of how you need to be careful because you are in an environment that is conducive to you being victimized.
Exactly. And and then we say, you men have got to control yourself. But yes, well, here's the thing. You jump in the water and you're bleeding. What's the natural expectation for that? What's the natural expectation? The sharks, right? So sharks are going to come and they're going to see, well, what is this? Is this food or what is this? In any case, it's going to be food. Because whatever bleeds, food. So then, oh, I got a shark attack. A shark bit me. We have to kill these sharks. Hold on a second. There's countries that forbid shark feeding for a reason. No, that does not qualify men to have no restraint of themselves.
Absolutely. And that is why when the caller on Monday started to go down that route where, he was saying something about, like, oh, this is why women get raped. I said, no. Let's make it very clear here. This isn't why women get raped. Women get raped because there are men out there who cannot contain themselves no matter what. There are women wearing burqas covered from head to toe who still sexually assault women. So I don't want to conflate the two issues. However, there is a concern that if you put yourself out there in a hypersexualized way, you may get a particular response and mix it with alcohol. Absolutely. Thank you, caller.
Thank you so much, Sandy, for sharing that. This is so important for our children and our society. And I thank you so very much. God bless you there.
Thank you. And, I've said this before, I'm not the morality police here. I'm really not. And I try to stay in my own lane. I'm not a carnival person. You will never see me at one of these events. And I am not going to, be out there flaunting anything, regardless of what size I am. I was raised with a particular set of modesty rules in place, right? And I get it that some of you simply don't care about those things. You could walk the streets completely naked and you just wouldn't care. But we need to have this conversation this morning because of where it eventually went. So, like I said, the young lady posted her video. Let me just pull the video back up. And at the end of the video, she said, gets called plus size on CMR. Okay. If I called you plus size, young lady, I don't know what size you are. Like I said, if I had to venture a guess, I would say probably maybe a medium. There are people in here who are saying, no, she's a little bit thicker than that, whatever. I have no clue. That on those size medium or small, she's a 1X or 2X. She couldn't have typed a comment like that at all. That's a disgusting thing for a woman. No, listen, I stand by what I said on Monday, that Rhonda, her outfit was the most appropriate one that I saw of all the ones that I had seen. And she looks absolutely beautiful. Now, there's a young lady who works at the Compass by the name of Zosa. I don't know what her name is. But she decides that somehow in her head, it was a good idea for her to jump into the conversation. Oh, someone said Miss Rhonda was actually in Miss Cayman. Okay. And she is beautiful. Absolutely. Look at her. Gorgeous. Zosa decides to jump in the conversation. and says, listen, don't upset me all over again. I got a bucket of salt and a bottle of pine salt for that bullfrog, referring to me. Oh, poor Zosa. What Aunt Lottie used to try to teach me when I was in elementary and high school. Sticks and stones can break my bones, but names can never hurt me. Well, name calling, Zosa, is petty and it's childish. And I don't know you, but as someone who sits on the Compass platform every single day, apparently her name is Zosa McGregor. She claims that she's a singer, songwriter, and artist. And the McGregor guy out of Jamaica is supposed to be her father. The daughter of Caribbean reggae artist Freddie McGregor? She apparently was actually in that she was in that reality TV show that didn't get past season 1. I didn't even recognize her because I mean, that show was such a flop. I watched it and it was still flopped. And I never put it together that she's the same girl now that is on the Compass reading the news. I thought they brought in somebody new, to be honest. I have no clue who she is. Okay, let me address you this morning, Zosa, because I think that you really need to have a coming to Jesus moment. When I saw the comment last night, I had to reach out to some of your professional colleagues at the Compass and say, please, what is it? Zoe, what somebody says pronounced like Zoe, but with the E. Zoe, what? With the E? What E? Josie? I don't know. How you pronounce it? Zoe, but without the E. Zosha. Huh? I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Zosha, but without the E. Zoe, Zosha. Zosha. That's it? Zosha. I got it? I don't know. She's gonna know who I'm talking about this morning. Don't worry about that. Zosha was in this picture. And when I was looking at this picture, I had no idea that these people were connected to the Compass. In fact, that's Regan there. And I didn't even know that was Regan. She's the reigning Miss Cayman. And then I don't know who the other two young ladies are at all. I don't know if this is all the Compass crew or who these people are. Yeah, Freddie McGregor daughter. All right. Some of y'all think y'all special and you still not nobody when you walking on the streets looking like this. So, what I want to say, is my comments again, and I will stress them. I did not think that Zosha looked good in this outfit, none at all. And I don't care. She can call me a bullfrog all she wants. I will take it. Because you know why people call me a bullfrog? Thanks to Uric Solomon, my father, I have very big eyes. I would rather you call me a bullfrog than to be seen in the streets of the Cayman Islands looking like this, honey child. If calling me a bullfrog makes you feel better at night about the fact that this weekend you were out there looking like this in this outfit, and then you can get up on the news on Tuesday morning, put on I don't know, does she wear a suit? Put on an outfit and try to read Compass News. Because the one time I watched you, I wasn't impressed. You can try to read Compass News and then you feel good about yourself. You need a reality check. What you need to understand is that when you are in a public space, people judge you. Even when you are doing nothing wrong. But honey child, for someone like you who has had complaints stacking up against you at the Compass, you really should have thought twice about trying to come for me talking about bullfrog. Because you, Zosa, are actually a bully. You are the very definition of a bully. And I'm going to break it down here today. Because, honey child, there are some people who are living in a fake reality script of their own making. And like I said, I don't know these people and I try to stay in my own lane. But when you start a fight with Auntie Sandy, she is going to bring it home to you in a way that is going to humble you, because young lady, you need to be humble. The stuff that I hear you going on with out in these streets, attacking other Caymanian artists, attacking other Caymanians on stage and full of like hundreds, if not thousands of people, demonstrate the type of person you are. And it has nothing to do with this outfit. So I don't know what little devil got in your head that made you decide to call me a bullfrog. And I will take it. I know Faded is like, this is who called you a frog, right? Right. But apparently she feels that she can go around calling people names, embarrassing people on stage, and doing the most. Huh? Yeah. And there are no consequences for her behavior. All of us have consequences. Myself certainly not excluded. Zosa girl, you work in a public space. Did no one tell you that when you work in a public space, there's a certain expectation? That's why in some of these contracts, you all may know this, even Miss Cayman, I don't know if they removed it, but in a lot of these contracts, teachers, all sorts of people, there's a bit of what we would call a decency clause, because you're sitting there on the evening news. You're sitting in front of people all the time. And so there is an expectation that you will present yourself in a particular way. And the fact that you don't do that, in some jurisdictions, including the big United States of America, would be grounds for termination. But you see in Cayman, oh no, this is liberation. This is women's liberation. Imagine, we think that women's liberation is going out there showing your parts and barely covering yourself all over the world for the whole of the world to see. And you guys have absolutely, somebody say radio gone. I'm not sure why radio gone, but let's bring it back. Hold on a second, honey child. I was talking all this time, so I don't know where the radio gone, but we can bring it back with a little music bed. Hold on. Let me see here now.
People talking. What are they talking about? This world's gone crazy, and I'm trying to find a way out. Nobody knows where we're going, or if we're going at all. Nobody cares if we stand, if we have nowhere to fall. It's a singing symphony, playing as the ship goes down. It's a porcelain epiphany, breaking if it hits the ground. I gotta find a way out. So many questions answered without an answer to tell. Too many things on my mind.
All right, folks. Thank you so much. I think that there's a little power issue, but the radio equipment disconnected. So I was saying that, in a lot of jobs that people work in, there is a clause that makes it very, very clear that the things that you do in public reflects on your organization. And so how it reflects on your organization is a matter for the organization. But when you're in public, there's a reason why people were sending me these pictures. And it's not because they thought that this was a good representation. And like I said, at the time that I received the pictures, I had no clue who these young ladies were or who they are. So my comment was not directed at anyone. I see somebody talking about, oh, you only talking about Josha. What about Regan? I mentioned it on Tuesday. The first three, I'm not impressed with. The last young lady, the fourth young lady, I even said, wow, she really went overboard because she's wearing leggings. She's covering her full arms. And I even said in my mind, I wonder if she's hot with the arm thing going all the way down. But much more appropriate. You guys think, I see some of you say, well, there's nothing wrong with this outfit. Really? I cannot understand what y'all are talking about. You barely have your palms covered. Like I said, I can't see the back, but I doubt there's anything more than a shoestring floss on the back of the outfit as well. If you really zoomed in on some of these, you can see the areola of their breasts. Come on now. This comes nowhere near any degree of decency out in these streets. If she was wearing this in her house, at a private pool party, that would be her business. She's walking up and down West Bay Road. Children should not be attending these events, in my opinion, because this is no proper example for them. And yet there will invariably be young teens and children out there seeing this and thinking that this is okay. This is how a woman who is a professional media personality sitting there reading the evening news can have her alter ego get up and put on this sort of outfit, and that's okay. Well, I'm here to tell you, and I'm going to take a stand this morning, as too many of us are afraid to do in this country for what is right. I'm going to take a stand and tell you that this is not right. This is the same duplicitous nature that we often talk about of people living in this community. So when you do a photo shoot for your job, you can show up looking like this. And this is her best friend, Craig. Now that I see her here, I say, oh yeah, these are the two wannabe pretenders on that reality show. You can't have it both ways. You need to pick and choose who you are. You either a scantily dressed performer that wants to be out in the streets like this, and you want to be competing with Shensia, okay? Or you are living in a community that believes in modesty, that is supposed to be built on so-called Christian foundations, huh? And you are delivering the news to these little old ladies, because they're the only ones going to be watching Compass News. And then, heaven forbid, any of them have Instagram or watch the Cold Hard Truth, because then when they see you looking like this, they can't believe their eyes. That is the same young lady. She reading the news? Oh, no, don't tell me that, Auntie. And I need to now address this. Diamond says she's a bully. She tried holding down interns. Always have something to say about people. Shame on her. Speak it, Auntie Sandy. Well, you see, y'all talking about yesterday, my dream was a bad omen. Well, addressing her this morning, not going to be a bad omen, you know. This is going to be liberating for every single intern, every single artist. She's even attacked our own, remind me his name now, Rico Rolando. Who does she think she is? Kay Manion's out here trying a thing, and yeah, she comes rolling along with her attitude, thinking she is somebody, because her BFF Craig, who he not nobody either, decide that they're going to try to be some kind of elitist in this community. A lot of you seem to know her and her stink attitude. I didn't know her, but now we're going to have to talk about and put her display and her stink attitude right front and center. People have had to lodge formal complaints with the Compass against this woman because of how she is. And y'all are going to get some of that here this morning. Someone said, how did she get the job at the Compass? No, sir. That's not a public figure. Look. So even last night, as I was sitting here with my guests and I read this message, and I was like, what the heck? Somebody said to me, oh God, I complained to you about her already. You probably didn't really read the message. You didn't look at it. And I said, really? They said, yeah, but you know, they decided to just leave it alone. But things have a way of coming full circle. And I'm not insulted this morning that she's trying to come for me, calling me a bullfrog. She can call me a bullfrog. But honey, child, you got a problem. You love to attack Caymanians in particular. And I have to question, because, you know, there are people among us who are jealous of all of us. And they see any Caymanian trying a little thing, especially in the entertainment industry, and they want to attack them when they have no grounds to stand on. I don't care who your daddy is. That don't make you nobody in my eyes if you don't carry yourself with dignity and respect. Instead of uplifting some other artist, this is what she does. She jumps on social media. This is Dean Ramon's page. Just Ask Dean. And she actually said the following to Dean. Girl, let me tell you something. Dean is trying to live a Christian life. Don't get me twisted, because I ain't trying to live one. Because if you had posted this about me, that day you would have gotten a 9:30 moment. He has a family. He's out here in these streets hustling, trying to do things the right way. I have really never heard or seen Dean post anything negative about any other DJ artist, nobody. And look at how she decides to come for Dean in this post. How you an MC pretending to be a DJ, actively disturbing the real DJ's set and frustrating the crowd. Again, before your headliner. MCs who struggle to keep the vibes of the crowd, the remarks that were coming out of VIP, yikes. Wow. This is just absolutely ridiculous. Really? Let me give you a little bit of context. Apparently, this was at a concert that Kenny Rankin had put on. And as oftentimes happen with these events now, Dean gets a lot of gigs. DJing gigs, my apologies, MCing gigs, right? He's a personality on the radio right here on one of the Stingray stations. And he's been in this area for quite some time, worked at the Compass, all sorts of stuff. So what I understand happened at this event is that apparently the headliner was running late, which you guys know these things happen. You know, they're in the back doing whatever, and they start to run late. And so Dean was instructed by Kenny, by the management, by the promoters of the event, to please try to keep it going because the headliner is not ready to come out. So here is Zosia now in her wisdom, thinking she know everything that's going on. This was a few months ago. She got jump up and criticized Dean for doing his job that he was hired to do and he was instructed to do by the promoter, because evidently somebody died and made Zosia the promoter. Interesting. So she gets on social media. On his page, looks like, because that's him, just ask Dean, and decides to insult this man about how he is an MC pretending to be a DJ, actively disturbing the real DJ set and frustrating the crowd. Listen to me. Zosia, go have several seats except put on clothes. Because we don't want you sitting on anybody's seats in that carnival outfit that you had on. I'm just saying. This is what she does. Because she knows everything and she's an expert at everything because she's the world's biggest promoter, artiste, songwriter, reality TV star, Compass News writer, the whole 9 yards. Someone says her arrogance knows no bounds. Well, I got know some bounds yet today. So Dean responded to her, and like I said, this is all fresh and new to me, but I'm going to share, my apologies, what he had to say. This boy really trying hard to be a good person, I can tell you that. He says, K-Man, I'm not going to engage by addressing this message on the same level, but I feel compelled to respond because this highlights a broader issue we face, our treatment of others, and how it sometimes diminishes rather than uplifts. This mindset is what holds us back from reaching the next level. As someone who has always struggled to take the stage in front of hundreds of people due to my dislike of criticism, I find this situation particularly disheartening. Even as I write this, my hands are shaking because I cannot believe my art form has been viewed in this way. For context, I was asked by the DJ to come on and support his set. I ensured not to interrupt, as it was only meant to fill the gap while Ashanti, this was just a concert we just had the other day, needed help or needed time to set up. Without my contribution, they would have been silenced during that period. I'm disappointed that this queen, Dean, you're such a good man. Don't call the town the jester in the court jester, no queen now. Don't get it confused. But anywho, he says, I'm disappointed that this queen, who is a talented media creative in her own right, chose to share her feedback in this manner rather than reaching out to me directly. Constructive feedback is such more than meaningful when delivered with kindness and respect. As creatives and human beings, we should strive to love and support one another, offering our thoughts in private rather than tearing each other down publicly. I pray for the continued success of this young lady and hold no ill will. K-Man, we can and must do better. Despite this, I believe wholeheartedly that God has blessed me with a gift, and I will continue to honor him through my work. With love, Dean. Oh, Dean, you're a good man. That's all I can tell you. You're a real good man. And I doubt she responded in kind. I doubt that she said, this has caused me to reflect on my actions. Thank you so much, Dean. None of that happened. In fact, cousin Kenny Rankin had to reach out to the Compass and form a formal complaint with management. Yes. Somebody said I heard she's been hunting Freem. Well, you're getting it today. 700 people now listening to, you don't ever get 700 people listening to you read the news. Now you're gonna be infamous. So you're getting all the fame that you can handle. Zosia, I have had in the last couple hours more than enough commentary about you. And I really would love for you to reflect on your behavior. You've got to be more than this trying to be a pretty face, trying to be a pretty body, trying to be a news anchor, and sincerely reflect on who you are in this community. Can somebody tell me, have we given this person status as yet? Have we given her status? Because if we haven't, can we please ensure that we don't? Because this is the mistake that we keep making. People show us who they are. And what do? We still turn around and make them part of this community by giving them a little piece of paper, and they're still not part of this community. She got it long time. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Are y'all serious? Wow. You see, she has demonstrated, and we're going to go with the theory, let them. She has demonstrated exactly who she is on more than one occasion. At one point, she jumped up on the stage, I understand, with Rico Rolando. Oh, God. Rico Rolando. And attacked him, calling his talent into question. And I'm like, but who this woman is? She the talent queen or what? She's came and got talent judge? Like, really? Lil Rico, I remember him from when he has been doing the most, trying to elevate himself. Right? And she gonna jump up and try to publicly insult this young Caymanian artist? So much so that, he really felt like, what am I even doing on this stage? Oh God, she got status already. Jesus, take the wheel. You see what I'm telling y'all? This is who we be giving status to. No, sir. Somebody said, oh, she went to school here, mother and everybody. Lord help us. So I'm going to read to you guys the complaint that the Compass got about this situation. And you better believe they better address her again. So here's the full outfit. Our students in the classroom sent her apparently feeling good, and she was modeling the outfit. So there's the back. Wow. I'm sorry, but I you see, I would be lying if I get here and ignore this foolishness and tell you guys that that this is okay, that this is acceptable. And I will not sit here and be a hypocrite. That's why I said on Tuesday, you know what? Be honest with me. Some of you guys are going to think I'm a prude, and maybe I am. Maybe I am prudish for saying I can't even see the floss. It gone so far up the bonky. And I don't find this attractive. And it has nothing to do with whether or not she is an attractive young lady. I'm saying the outfit. If you take that and zoom in, excuse me, on that right breast, and then the angle on that left breast, y'all know what you're seeing right there? You're seeing her nipple? And we have indecency laws in this country that the police should have said to her, young lady, that has to be covered. Look closely and you'll see what I mean. But you see, we got these people thinking that they're enough. Someone else sent me other videos saying that this is her in past times, and they said, "Oh, this is not nothing new to her." And a lot of these young ladies, not just her, are out here every single year. The outfits are getting until Monday. Let's turn the music off. The outfits are getting skimpier and skimpier, and they think that this is okay. They think that this is attractive. No, it's not. It really isn't. And the guys always have on the most clothes. IBK Mannion says, so the Compass media just ignores this. Well, more than ignoring this, because if she's been going on like this in the streets of Cayman for years, apparently they were okay. I hope to God that wasn't her in that car just now. Looks like the same outfit though. Sprawled out. Is that her? That tell me that Donna her though. Donna her, right? Is that her? Because I know a lot of them, I guess, wear the same outfit because they bought it from the same designer or whatever. With legs open on top of a car like that, where you could definitely see everything then, where the sun not supposed to be shining, it was shining. Wow. Somebody say, I shouldn't read some of these comments. Like, seriously. My God. I don't know. But what I know is I'm not going to sit here and pretend for no amount of likes in the world, no amount of, oh, yeah, whatever. But this is right. No, sir. So, wow. Let's read the complaint, folks, that was sent to the Compass about her, because it's worth noting that even Kenny Rankin had enough of this foolishness. And this is what he said for this concert. Following the post by Zosia on or around April the 1st, 2025, we felt it necessary to clarify the situation and formally express our disappointment to management. Zosia's public comment targeted Dean Ramoon's performance on the Capella stage. Shameful. Shameful. Criticizing him for, quote, pretending to be a DJ and allegedly disturbing the DJ's set. As Dean explained in his response, he was asked by the DJ to step in temporarily to keep the audience engaged while the headline act setup was finalized. Without this contribution, there would have been a gap and awkward silence. While we are always open to fair and constructive criticism, we found Zosia's remarks unnecessary and uninformed, as she did not have the full context of the situation she was commenting on. Unfortunately, her public statement reflected poorly not only on Dean personally, I should say not just personally, I'm adding this now, also him professionally, because he is in a public space as well. And of course, she knows that, right? So Kenny goes on. My apologies, I lost my little space. She did not have the full context of the situation she was commenting on. Unfortunately, her public statement reflected poorly not only on Dean personally, but also cast a negative light on a community event that many people and sponsors worked hard to deliver successfully. Given that she received access to the event through our advertising and partnership with the media outlet she represents, in other words, she didn't even pay for a ticket, talking about what was happening in VIP, like she could afford VIP. We felt it appropriate to write to management and express our disappointment. We emphasize that public commentary of this nature should be handled responsibly, especially when the issue could have been clarified privately and constructively. We trust this matter will be taken seriously to ensure similar situations are avoided in the future, so that all parties involved, artists, sponsors, and the community, are treated with mutual respect and professionalism. Would appreciate you not stating us or the company name that gave you the information. Well, it's in the public domain yet today. So let me be very, very clear. Someone who has the time to criticize other people, who has the time to be calling me a bullfrog, yes, FAFO, is out here herself, seriously, trying to put down Caymanian talent. Young lady, you have been given the privilege of having a piece of paper that says that you're a Caymanian. And yet, you are out here publicly making disparaging remarks, getting on stage with other people. And you know, Zosa, that I'm not being unfair to you this morning, because there have been other complaints levied against you. And there are certain stations in Cayman that even refuse to work with you, and by extension, the Compass, because of your attitude. And because of how you actually have treated people in the past. And I'm talking about big companies too. No, you're not getting no pass yet today. About 800 people sitting here listening between our social platforms. And I can tell you, no passes will be given out. You need to do better. You need to do better in the streets. You need to do better on social media. And you need to do better about how you think about Caymanians. Because when she gets on a public platform and expresses something like this, right? It's like, come on, girl. You're not stepping up to anything. Trisha says, do I know that she's Freddie McGregor's daughter? Yes. And what does that have to do with the price of rice in China? She can afford many VIPs? Really? Okay. You would be surprised how many people the daughter of this one and that one, and daddy not got no money to give them, so they can't afford nothing. Spending money on foolishness and the weaved $800, $900 weave so they can't afford nothing else. No, I wouldn't be surprised if her and many more can't afford. Listen, you would be surprised. You would be surprised the people that you think millionaires and living in big time house and driving big time car and still out in the streets owing people hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they come into me to collect it for them. Don't look at people and think you know what's going on with their finances. Because trust and believe me, now you're saying you have a point. I'm telling you, I got a point. Because I see the fakeness of how people live in Cayman. They ain't got a pot to piss in, as Caymanians would say. That when you see them out in the streets, boy, they dress like they just walked out of a magazine. I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole, Trisha, because I'm telling you, that's a whole other situation with people trying to pretend. Most of them people in that reality show are a bunch of pretenders, living paycheck to paycheck and can't afford nothing. Living fake life, pretending. They better get up and go work. That's what they better try and do. What a hot mess. Let me read some of your comments, because I got to tell you, some of them are quite entertaining this morning. Let me just grab a few. Yes, sir. If you're upset about the comments about the costume, you're entitled to your opinion. Oh, she's been here from primary school. Lord Jesus, have mercy. Oh, have mercy. Regan. Yeah, I mean, I don't approve of your costume either. And like I said, I did not even know that that was you. As a reading Miss Kiman, I'm surprised that they not say nothing. Again, there's a morality clause somewhere in your contract. You might want to have a look at it. So, honey child, yeah, she was on a morning talk show with Rico 98.9 FM. I don't think that that ended well. I think that is why they transferred her to the TV. Oh, so she was working on the radio. I don't even know who Island FM is. Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, God, have mercy. Y'all bringing in poor Tammy into the conversation. Tammy's sitting here listening probably to this going, I ain't got nothing to do with this morning. Take the light off of me, honey child. Rico is gone. She's still on the radio. She's Kimanian. Lord, how we can use that word so loosely these days. All right, let me grab some of these. Oh, she's on with Craig, and Puerto Rico is gone. I see. Like I said, I don't even know who Island FM is. I don't listen. Okay. Somebody sent a photo of the back end. Yeah. I mean, my God, no, sir. I mean, I cannot believe that you guys actually think that this looks good. I hear something, oh, you will forever be Carnival Queen. I'm just like, in what world? In Hades? In the afterlife? That some of these people thinking that they're queens? A queen isn't about how you look on the outside, That's why these pageants are ridiculous. Somebody was telling me the other, oh my God, your daughter's so beautiful. You should put her in a pageant. I say, who, me? Who? Not me. I pray she does not even ask me about pageants. Because y'all really have to be out of your minds. Hyper focus on how you look on the outside. That's why she felt so comfortable talking about I'm a bullfrog. Because that's what she's all about. And she thinks that she is pretty and look good. I don't really want to talk about what I think of her looks. I want to talk about what I think about what's going on in her heart, because that seems like that is black as black gold. And she need to step it up. That is what I think. But really and truly, some of you are so hyper-focused on what you look like. Somebody says feminism loses credibility when there's no integrity attached to it. Let's pull in some of these comments now, because you will most certainly want to see them. This is what y'all do, right? Hyper-focus on the outside, but you're not working on the inside, none at all. Let's get to the bottom of the Rico situation. Someone says, you want a list on all the stuff that she's been up to? I had no clue it was so extensive. Let's start with this. A humble Caymanian like Rico had to walk off the job because he was mentally drained from dealing with her controlling behavior and toxic energy in the show. Then there's how she went on social media and disrespected Kenny Rankin, Capella, and the entire show, a show that actually paid Compass to promote it. Can you imagine? If I had publicly spoken like that about a client, I'd be fired on the spot. And let's not even get started on her own family. Even relatives like Freddie and her brothers in Jamaica have had serious issues with her over the years, all because of that same nasty attitude. Trust me, the pattern speaks for itself. Wow. Melita, good morning. She should be able to afford her own news station rather than working for somebody else, just saying. These people not got no money. Try and sit down. What a hot mess. Crystal says, Bullfrog, when I see you in person by the market, I said, wow, she is beautiful, especially in person. I'm shy. I can't even say hi. I'm just looking at your face and you say hi to me, ma'am. Plus, you are very humble. Thank you so much. I don't care about how calm a bullfrog. Like I said, yes, I've got big eyes. I've got big lips. The good Lord bless me. And she should know that in the real world, right? That's the best that she can come with. This young lady can't hold a candle up to me. What degrees do you have? What have you actually done with yourself other than prancing on stage and trying to be a personality on a low radio station in a country with a population this size? That makes you feel special. That doesn't make you special. What is in your head? What can you do for yourself? If your little job disappeared tomorrow and you didn't have vocal cords to actually sing or try to sing, what would you be able to do? Let's talk about what is in your head, what is in your brain, what kind of contributions are you making to this community and this society in a meaningful way? Zosa, when was the last time you helped somebody in need? How many people are you sponsoring for summer camp? Because I just dug in to my personal money to sponsor 2 people, 2 children, one who otherwise would not be able to go away. Gave them money so they can go to a little camp overseas. Who are you helping in this community? Meanwhile, you holding on tight-fisted to your little piece of paper. And this is where I have a problem with some status holders. They're not making any meaningful contributions to Cayman. They're using us for what they can get. In Jamaica, she would be nobody. Artists in Jamaica, there's one on every corner of every little house. So for you to become a Shensia out of a country of over 3 million people, you would have to have real talent. 1 in a million. You probably wouldn't even be on radio there or reading news in Jamaica because there are a lot more talented people on that beautiful island. But they come Cayman. And we elevate them and make them think that they're somebody. And that goes to their heads. Well, Josa, like I said, this person said she looks disgraceful with those fake breasts. God forbid a pride participants dressed like that. All hell would break loose. Such double standards. You can take the yardie out of Jamaica, but they will always be a yardie. My God, leave the poor Jamaicans alone because they're sitting here disgusted too. They're saying, honey, child, this not got nothing to do with us. Don't be calling us into the mix. Another person expresses this. She must think because of who she can get away with this with her foolishness. Wrong island she trying that with. Sandy, isn't there something in the law about this kind of attire being worn in the streets? I think so, because back in the day, not even tourists were allowed to, unless they changed the law now. The decency laws are still in the books. This is just no enforcement. All right? The police out there enjoying the scenery for themselves. Another person comments, good morning. Firstly, this is not blocked by companies as it is a rite of passage to jump with K-Mass and encouraged. Secondly, this is the current acceptable costume attire globally, and in some jurisdictions, they supplement it with body paint and glitter. I do agree this is for adults and minors should not be exposed. Well, let's have a look at this concept of carnival for a second, because this goes much deeper than many of us are wanting to accept. So we have apparently taken on the mode of carnival, and I hear and see your comment, based on Trinidad's carnival and Brazil's carnival, where in Brazil, they can literally walk around naked, and that is acceptable and okay. But John Canoe, and where carnival really comes from and where it has its roots, is not in this kind of sexualized behavior. Look at the Bahamas, what they are wearing. And I mean today, in today's context. They're not out in these streets like that. She's wearing this outfit and then wearing several layers underneath. Have a look at this one. And these are women. So we choose, even in our interpretation of Carnival, and I have to ask the question, why are we celebrating Carnival? Do we know what John Canoe and Carnival is all about in the historical context? Ask any of these women out here. And I can tell you that not a single one of them know what Carnival is really all about. For them, it's just skinning out. It is drinking, probably having a little bit of extra sex that weekend, smoking some spliff, and that's it. They don't know the history of Carnival. They don't know the history of John Canoe. They don't know anything about their own history and where they come from. Miss Sandra Coe says, jealousy is a dangerous disease. Sandy, you're a beautiful island lady, beautiful inside and out. Came out as a mess. Thank you, Shelly Ann. She said, not all Jamaicans are yardis. That's right. You're yarded by your attitude. And Seymour says, true, Sandy, they get winks when they come Cayman. So you can see how other people actually celebrate and express themselves. Leggings, undercoverings, and so on. And you see the beauty of the costumes. Look at how gorgeous and beautiful that costume actually is. So we have made a choice here to have a very different over-sexualized interpretation of Carnival. Ms. Claudia said Carnival has never been a part of our heritage. We've lost our identity. Absolutely ridiculous. No longer our beautiful Cayman Islands. And quite frankly, it says a lot about us and who we are. This is why when y'all want to come talking all sorts of foolishness about y'all going to church on a Sunday, and I see y'all skimping out the day before out in the streets, I just have to smile and say, Lord Jesus, it's a good thing that the good Lord is so forgiving, because he having to forgive you every single day. Yes, Cameron, it was art. It's an expression. There's a story behind it. And yet, we have changed the conversation. What a disgrace we are. There are times when maybe we need to accept that we have really made a wrong turn with a lot of different things. Now, Carnival has never been a part of Cayman history, but for the past 40 years now, it is what it is. We've adopted that. We've adopted Pirates Week. We've just adopted the most, and we don't even think about the meaning of some of the things that we have taken on. And we wonder what is happening with our young people. Their loss of direction. It's an insight into, once again, in part, how we always seem to accept in this country everybody else's culture but our own. Have you guys seen the traditional Cayman dress? What it looked like? It was modest. Y'all don't want to be wearing that. No. Your real culture, your real heritage. You're not doing any of those things. You're not engaging in any of that. Not a single person said, let me properly represent Cayman culture and go out here and instead of wearing a Trinidad version of Carnival, a wannabe Brazil version, put on something half decent, but still expressing ourselves in a cultural way. Wow. And of course, young people, y'all saying, "Oh, Sandy, you just approved and you know, this is we're liberated." You liberated, you can't even string a sentence together? How can you be liberated? You liberated and can't have a meaningful discussion on anything? What kind of liberation is that? You liberated because you out in the streets half naked and can twerk on a car and sprawl open your legs. Well, if that is a definition of liberation, God knows I don't need to be liberated. Please don't liberate me. As Aunt Lottie would say, you guys leave nothing to the imagination. These guys don't have to wonder what they getting. They know full well because you had it sprawl out on Instagram, TikTok, and whatever other Snapchat and whatever else y'all be using out in these streets. Leave something private. I mean, my God, not everybody in Cayman should be able to say that they have seen your hoo-ha. This person did a little, somebody said they've been to Notting Hill and Carnival, and I see hell of a baddie ride. Exactly, that's Notting Hill, down at Cayman. Not everything, as Aunt Lottie would say, you don't got to follow fashion with everything, you know. Leave that to them. Those people, they're fine over there. That is what people have always enjoyed about Cayman, that we had a little bit of decency left. Y'all have thrown it all out the window. If you want to see that, please, by all means, go to Brazil. It is an experience. I've seen those women on TV, not in person. I've seen them on social media. I'm like, wow, that must be something to behold with your own eyes. If you want that kind of experience, yes, go there and enjoy it. Someone said, why is Zoshi's name not mentioned as one of his children? Child, I don't know nothing about that. I'm not getting into no 23andMe DNA. Family hate her, so they ain't even naming her officially. I don't know. That probably some other drama, child. That'll be a whole episode of 23andMe, Jamaican style. No telling what kind of jacket and shirt and pants and thing that could be. Icon Shanti Hype says, K-Mass has never been a part of her heritage. I born and see Bada Banu all my life. Well, even Bada Banu, to be fair, is something that we have adopted. Trisha says, when I moved here 20 years ago, I stood still and said to myself, there's nothing that we do differently. Someone named it that several generations are trying to sustain it. I mean, it's crazy. Yes, we follow fashion. And the worst part about it is we have followed the wrong things. We never lead with intelligent discourse and discussion. 800 people this morning sitting here listening to me talk about this. And when we have someone like a Marla Dukaran on the show talking about something intellectual, about why we are where we are, how these, G7 and big countries forcing all kind of stuff down our throats that impacts our finances, our financial services, our freedoms, our constitutional rights, everything. We get 300 people if we're lucky. And it says a lot. That's what I say. Y'all not liberated, none at all. That's not liberation. Being able to walk in the streets like that is no form of liberation. One of my Jamaican fans says, good morning, sis. Jamaicans need to know themselves and walk on the humble lean. Many of us come to the Cayman Islands and Cayman has been good to us. It is so wrong to come here and do not abide by the laws of these islands and disrespect the Caymanian people and their culture. And I'm sick and tired of people disrespecting us. I can tell you all this right now. And, make no bones about it. But I wasn't apologizing in 2024. And I'm certainly not going to be apologizing anytime soon. Y'all would have to wait for that to happen. You got looks. She talking about Bullfrog. I wonder if she looks in the mirror, says this commentator, because that's one. Who the rash she is anyway? Is she Caymanian? Look like an all-in-one. Geez and peace. I wonder which princess died and made her queen. We need to change the law to take away status and take it away now. Another person says, call them out, Sandy, because we got to cut this out now. These things against Caymanians in this country have been going on for too long. I hear they be having sex in the streets in Trinidad, Jamaica, and Brazil. Well, Cayman will soon start because they're out there simulating it and humping and carrying on. So it's not going to be too far off before they start doing that next. And we just accept these things, It's like a sliding scale. And that to me is the most disgraceful part. We don't speak up. The only thing in this country that we can speak up against is the LGBT community. And when they had their Pride event the other day, they did it with pride. They walked, both members of the community as well as their supporters. They wasn't out here gyrating on nobody. They was not here wearing no half naked outfits, all that. But heaven forbid we post up their carnival pictures or say anything about them. Y'all would be up in arms. Y'all need to do better. This person says FAFO. I would sure make her Joshua wobble on her legs and flee if I showed her my talent. It is just like persons like her and of a different nationality. Thankfully, not all is, what is that? All is, what? I don't know what that word's supposed to be. It is not where we are from, it is who we are. Would be given the first preference and chance to show hers. She does not scare Caymanian San, especially you and other talented and upfront defensive ones as myself. Thank God for you. You inspire, and thank God for you. Oh, you said it twice. Thank you for protecting us and being our voices. God bless you and your family profusely, San Hill. She Zosha gone and open a ship of worms today. Kaboom. Sandy, comments like these are okay to post. I know you understand otherwise. The other thing I should have noted, more discreet, of course, is you did not know that. But yes, it is mostly from my positive comments for you overall and to the matter as like today. Joshua is so wrong. It upsets me when you and us are being criticized and disrespected. Tears. Ghoul, when you come for Sandy, you come for the whole CMR family. You need to take your skirt. All right. Let's just end that one with bye, Felicia. Lots of comments coming in. One person says, morning, Sandy. The real question is, where or who would she be without that name, that surname? What a mess. Let me see. He didn't own her. It's only recently, says this commentator. Oh, what a mess. This K-Mass is a total disgrace to K-Man and should be banned, says another person. Sending some more footage. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can quickly access the footage. Because again, it simply demonstrates what is actually happening out in our streets. Nothing, again, to do with Carnival, as far as I'm concerned. This person, Stay in My Lean, somebody sent me this, says, still waiting to hear. This is a comment on YouTube that I haven't seen on the chat thing, but still waiting to hear why one lady was singled out and disgraced when 9 out of 10 were wearing the same costume or outfit. Well, what do you say your name? Staying in Your Lane. Oh, there you are. If you had been following the conversation from Tuesday, she was not singled out. Go back to Tuesday's show. You will see that the pictures that I sent, including Renegade's wife, everybody was talked about in terms of the appropriateness of the costume. When I put up Zosha's group photo, I did not even know who she was. So how can I be singling out somebody that I don't even know? And some of y'all up in your feelings. Juliet said, what's her surname? McGregor, apparently. Freddie McGregor. Some people think they special. But let me make it very clear. I didn't know who she was. Now, some of y'all up in your feelings, oh, you only picking on her because she the little black girl in the group. Say what? No, honey child. That's, what? Your skin color not got nothing to do with decency. And I made comments about other people who are fair skinned or white. That has nothing to do with it. Seriously. Absolutely ridiculous. I have a daughter. And what I can tell you, this person says, good on my big friend Kenny for lodging a complaint. You give them an inch and they want a string. Lord have mercy. Oh, Lord Jesus. That one's funny though. But yes, your color has nothing to do with. I have a daughter. And so now, as a mother of a female child, I sit down and think about, wow, would I want my daughter out in the streets of Cayman doing this? Hold on. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on. Because I suspect that some of you don't watch Carnival like me. You're not really business with it. And you have no clue what's actually happening. Give me a second. Let me just show you this video that someone just sent. This is insightful at best. And you have to teach young ladies because sometimes they see things. When I use the word modesty, my daughter's go, well, Mom, what does that mean? If we have people coming over to our house, I'm like, honey, child, put on long pants. There's certain clothes that are house clothes. We all have them. I have my nightgown and I have house dresses, as the old folks would call them. And those clothes are not to be worn outside, right? So even my daughter, she likes to go and dress herself now, pull out her little outfits. If it is the evening time and somebody might potentially be coming over, Uncle Kai Kai, even women, it don't make no difference. I said, honey, we're going to have company coming over. Go put on something more. Teaching modesty is not a bad thing. This isn't here. Once again, if this was happening at the Pride event, not for nothing, but y'all would have lost every mind, every brain cell you got. But that's okay to be twerking and winding up and stuff. Look at this guy. He want a piece of the action, boy. He's like, yeah, this simulation of sex in our streets. Y'all don't think that people are legitimately getting aroused by this? I hate to tell you, but people are only humans after all. Yep. And later on, when he's trying to grab you and you're like, oh, I'm not that kind of girl. Oh, excuse me. I may have gotten the wrong message from you. That's what these guys out here in the streets thinking. You're not that kind of girl, but weren't you just twerking on my privates? Oh, I'm sorry. I got the wrong message. I thought you were okay with that. No, sir. Wow. All I can tell you is, despite what y'all want to believe, I really am not a prude. And I have seen, Sarah Sewell says, have you seen Carnival in Trinidad and Brazil? Yes, we have. And we were just talking about that. And my position remains, do we have to look like everybody else? Do we have to do what everybody else is doing? Brazil has a long history of carnival. And, do we have to do that? Does K-Mass have to be that kind of carnival? Why can't it be John Canoe like what they do in the Bahamas, where they wear proper carnival outfits and they cover up? We will choose what we wish to adopt. And adopting this in the streets, right, is not a good look. Are these young ladies actually out there working in real jobs that they have to face people on Tuesday morning that might recognize them? Twerking with the string and they're behind? Are they working at a restaurant where they might have to serve people and now you have a particular impression of them? I mean, are they mothers that have young daughters that are also on Instagram and TikTok that see mommy doing this and think that that's okay? That behavior is acceptable, even under the guise of carnival? You see, I agree, Miss Aline. Miss Aline says we try to mirror every piece of foolishness, and it does not end there. Abby says, why does carnival have to cater to the church? It's not. Why don't they just drink water and mind their business? Our carnival is PG-13 compared to the rest of the Caribbean. We aren't the Middle East. Well, I should tell you, you're nowhere near the Middle East. And we're not asking for you to be the Middle East, but we're saying, okay, there is this type of carnival outfit. We're nowhere close to that. Is there not somewhere in the middle where you can wear something a little bit less, but it's not a shoestring? I'm just saying. Is this behavior in our streets really indicative of who we are as a country? And then when you dare to speak up and say, in my opinion, this isn't right, I don't agree with this, right? You don't celebrate your national heritage and culture as much as you celebrate some adopted festival. And the most salacious part of it, right? And you dare to say, maybe these outfits are going a bit too far. What are we going to expect next time? They're going to be completely naked? Because that is the direction that it's going in. Every year, it's less and less and less and less. Where is it going to end up? So, forgive me for asking the question. I wasn't being mean to anybody. And just for asking the question, I'm a bullfrog. She can get some soil, some salt and a bottle of pine soil. Child, salt and pine soil wouldn't even help you. That's the sad part. I don't know who you think that you can get a bucket of salt and pine soil for, but it wouldn't even help you with your dirty, nasty attitude. Always wanting to put Caymanians down. Child, please. Let me make it very, very clear here this morning, because I think it is important for you to understand there's certain people that you really should not come for. And, I'm looking closely at the time. I'm trying not to go there. I've been having a peaceful 2025. We haven't had it too many 9:30 segments. My name now Rico Rolando. And my name is certainly not Dean Ramon, Rika Orit. They look like they're a little bit skittish around you. When people think that they're bullies and they can go around name calling and make all sorts of nasty, disparaging remarks, and they have no substance of their own in their own life, not got nothing going on, two little dollars in the bank account, they won't be trying to come for people. Well, I'm going to stand for Dean Ramon. I'm going to stand for Kenny Rankin. I'm going to stand for Rico Orit and every other intern, all Caymanians, that you have been attacking over the years and making their lives miserable because you think your ish don't stink and that somebody died, like I said, some princess died and made you queen. Nobody not made you queen, girl. The queen bee gonna have to set you straight. And like I said, we 8 minutes out now. So it's getting closer to that time. But you're not it. Good morning, Carla.
Hey, good morning, Sandy.
Yes, sir.
As soon as you said you're waiting for that 8 minutes, just to let you know, I'm on the West Bay Road and it's starting to rain. So I think the rain is waiting for you to start as well. So we're waiting for those 8 minutes. And I think everybody that's listening to you live is waiting for that 8 minutes. Let me be clear to you. Mm-hmm. People should not feel so entitled when it comes to the Cayman Islands and put down the locals that are here. Mm-hmm. Yes, we are not 100% perfect, and we're not going to even come close to perfect. But when you bully the wrong person, it's going to come back and bite you. And especially if you're going to be a sponsor and then insult somebody as a sponsor, that's indicative to you being professional, right? And second of all, I don't think that you're a person like this that will go about looking at people and saying, oh, because of this, because of you. When you first started talking that, you were speaking the truth about how Carnival, I'm in my 50s now, and I know how Carnival started. And I remember Miss Reba when she used to be Smith Road, and she would spend days on top of days doing these Carnival. And it was so enlightening to see all these carnivals and how the costume, the hard work and dedication Miss Reba and everybody put into it. And when you had other people came down and did, compete against Cayman or whatever. And Miss Reba has records of going around the world doing their carnival costume and showing up carnival costume, not what I see now. Right? It is not even close to carnival. And when they talk about Brazil, when you're looking at Brazil Carnival, you have to look at the history of why Brazil is doing that carnival. They're doing a culture carnival. Most of the people that are doing these carnivals do not know anything about the culture of their own island, but yet they're adopting somebody else's stuff and doing it. Of course, if you want to do Pirates Week and whatever the case may be, which they took away from Pirates Week because they were celebrating pirates and everything else, and then they brought it back several years later. But at the same time, we like to adopt other people's stuff and not adopt our own, right? And if you go to Brazil, you don't want to follow Brazil Carnival because they'll be having X in the middle of the street half the time, and they don't be wearing any clothes, and they have the highest rate of, HIV that's being passed around during the Carnival. So they don't want to go down that road either anyway. So at the end of the day, we need to understand that certain things, even though you might think it's PG-13, let me ask most of the people this, what they want their 13-year-old daughters doing this, right? When the 13-year-old daughters come home or the 18-year-old daughters come home and they end up pregnant, then they're going to say, where did you learn that from? Because they learned it at Carnival, they learned it doing this, they learned it doing that. Listen, do whatever you want to do. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. But when it comes home, and what the old people say, when the rooster comes home to roost, then you will understand. So at the end of the day, you do what you want to do, and everybody's entitled. Everybody's their own adult. But when you want equal rights, you're going to get equal left. All right? And she's going to F around and find out. That's all I'm going to say.
5 minutes left.
Oh, God, I'm waiting.
Okay, honey child. 5 o'clock. It's gonna be 9:30 in about 5 minutes. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
We gotta have an F round and in FAFO segment this morning. Honey Child, good morning.
Good morning. I have to call in on this, and I know I'm gonna get flogging, but I don't care. Like I said on Sabrina's show the other day, I don't care who like me. I don't care what they think about me, and I don't. But that was ridiculous what I saw. Come on. I mean, as a woman, I can tell you, I don't even go. It make me feel shame because it's like my mother used to say. Some of them, they gotta have pride for themselves. Why everybody should see what you have? Their behind is common on their face, and that what they be doing out there to me is vulgar, nasty, dirtiness. That's not dancing. That is like dog hunting dog. And this is what I'm saying. And then kids be out there. No wonder the 9-year-old and 10-year-old wrong here asking questions about certain things because that's not appropriate for adults to look at. And whoever think that is cute and nice, they don't have no quality for themselves and no shame. And I don't blame about Christian country. Yes, it's a Christian country, but what I'm saying, some people about, I can hear about the church and the this and the that. Yes, they all better find God because that, like I say, that's not a kind of what they have on stuff. Like, to me, it's like that's not a costume thing, and I agree. Other countries do worse, but we don't have to adopt other people's nastiness. That's what happened wrong here now because they're bringing the other nasty cultures from other places and workout, and that look like they won't have stuff. They won't have sex tries to go in the bush or something, not in Cayman Street. And I don't care who say what and who like it, but it's not what is island what you so in this. And a holder should still be living in. Government need to look into that. They need to have something covering up their parts, not out there showing it. And then, like I said, if some of them will put it, but some of them look like stovepipe and whatever. So it's dirtiness, it's nastiness, it's not no carnival. They go out and another thing I was saying, it all be drunk. It should be that they cannot drink no alcohol during the parade. It be hot and stuff, but car water. That is better for you. That's why they be out there so vulgar in car. None because half of them be drunk and these men be up, because I see that these men be up on top of them like dog, and then they wonders what happened to someone when they get raped and all kinds of things. Because they be drunk and disorderly and nasty and dirty. And I don't care who like it. I know I get flogging, but then that flog or that condemn it, they listen dirty just like them. They don't have no quality need. I don't care what nationality or what country they're from. I don't care who it is, and I don't care what they say about me. Because if they talk, no, they talking to my behind. And they don't come to my face and tell me nothing. So that's my 2 piece on it. And the pastor calling on Elio and them show about it the other day. It's ridiculous. We didn't have that kind of thing wrong here. Reebok costume to suggest they should have on short. And like I said, that what they have on do hardly even be clothes. Half of their parts be falling out and showing. And who wants to see that? The people that not to like them. Enjoy it, because I don't go out on the more, no, sir. Not me. And government need to look into it and have real decency. And like I say, the police that out there that
they're enjoying the scene, my darling.
A tourist was walking one day in the dancing police. He was right out. Then he was seeing, and he never said a word. He was just.
Boy, Michelle, taking us straight into 9:30 on it, child. Special FAFO segment coming in 1 minute. FAFO. If you don't know what it means, tune in and I'm going to spell it up for you. Go ahead, Michelle. You taking us right into 9:30.
And where I come from, one of the man used to have dance to the young people. And I can remember him. When he announced, he used to be telling them, okay, ladies and gentlemen, he said, we come out. I know the young, we want to have fun. But he said, I want decency in this party. He used to say, no rumbling, no cumbering, clean dancing. That no mean no walking up on each other and whatever. And he said, who started? I got my bouncer right by the door and out on the go. And that's how it should be. If you can't go by rules, out, get out. If you want to do that, go somewhere else, but not in this party.
Thank you, my honey chill. It's now
You don't
9:29.
get flogging, but I don't care. If whoever flog me, tell them kiss Mike on SPRE.
Mm-hmm. Woo! 9:29. Lot 'em up. TF up. Says proper shenanigans. Folks, I'm going to take a restroom break. Yes, I am. And when I come back, we're going to have an FO segment. That's what we can start calling Fridays at 9:30. And we can just break it all the way down. You know how y'all like to wind down to the ground if your knees can still get there? That's how far we can take it. 9:30, folks. Radio Land, y'all have a good weekend. You know what to do if you want to hear the conversation. Continue for the fuck around and find out Friday special. I can wind y'all up, and then you're going to tune in at 5 o'clock, and Sabrina Turner is going to wind you down. Okay. Bathroom break for your entertainment pleasure. Yes? While we are waiting for Auntie to go and do a little bathroom break, because when I get excited now, I don't want no accidents around the place. While we waiting for that, I'm going to play a little special for you this morning. Hold on, I'm trying to find it. And I need y'all to pay attention. Hold on. Let me go now to the U drive. It's somewhere in the U drive. Let me see where it is. Because some of y'all basic bitches be trying to come for the queen bee. Talking about I look like a bullfrog. Well, if that's all you got to say, if that's the worst that you can come with, honey child, you're not saying much. Okay. That's all you got for me? Okay. Well, this is what I can tell you if that's all you got. I can put this on loop. We can loop this one until I can run to the bathroom and come back. Hold on, I got one more. I got to upload my pictures. Where's the other one? Oh, yes. You got to love the haters. Let's do that one first. And then we can end it later on with Shut Up. Both by the same talented person. This woman looks like, she looks like Kylie Jenner, but I don't think it's Kylie Jenner. But she sure does look like her. Over 800 people still here with me this morning. Big shout out to the Instagram people. Love you like cooked food. One of them said, just because you aren't confident in your own skin doesn't mean we need to bring down other people. Honestly, that's what you think this is all about? Child, please. This has nothing to do with being comfortable in your own skin. Somebody else say if I want them to wear a nightgown. Lord Jehovah. That is what y'all think that this is all about? Wearing a nightgown to carnival? Oh, God. Skinning out your puss, not really a good look. Y'all really need to do better. All right. Loop time.
Many people struggle with this common type of human being. Do-nothing bitches are vampires of other people's joy. Instead of living authentically, they feed off masking their true selves, doing nothing and criticizing others who actually put themselves out there. Do-nothing bitches can be highly manipulative. So here are some gold standard clapbacks when a do-nothing bitch starts with their bullshit. When they start to claim you're too much, offer them a mirror and tell them to look for less. Draw a diagram that identifies where your business is and where their business is to visually show them they're in the wrong area. Remind them of the ancient proverb, to fuck around is to find out, and the more they fuck around, the more they're going to find out. So the next time you encounter a do-nothing bitch, hold your head high and know their obsession with you is masking their jealousy of your confidence, your freedom in your self-expression, and most importantly, your authenticity. And also, fuck them. They're toxic. Many people struggle with this common type of human being. Do-nothing bitches are vampires of other people's joy. Instead of living authentically, they feed off masking their true selves, doing nothing and criticizing others who actually put themselves out there. Do-nothing bitches can be highly manipulative. So here are some gold standard clapbacks when a do-nothing bitch starts with their bullshit. When they start to claim you're too much, offer them a mirror and tell them to look for less. Draw a diagram that identifies where your business is and where their business is to visually show them they're in the wrong area. Remind them of the ancient proverb, to fuck around is to find out, and the more they fuck around, the more they're going to find out. So the next time you encounter a do-nothing bitch, hold your head high and know their obsession with you is masking their jealousy of your confidence, your freedom in your self-expression, and most importantly, your authenticity. And also, fuck them. They're toxic.
All right, folks. Woo. Yes, didn't want to have a senior moment this morning. Felt like I needed to run to the bathroom. So let's get it. Let's get it straight. Somebody said we're judgmental. Old people stay home then. We staying home. This not got nothing to do with that, honey child. We are staying home. And listen, I will be the first to tell you that our old folks sometimes, yes, judging you young people too much with your salacious behavior out in these streets, skinning out and having sex with every Tom, Dick, Harry, Samantha, Joanne, puss, cat, dog, everything. Y'all don't care about nothing, and that's fine. This segment is called Fuck Around and Find Out. Like I said on Tuesday's show, you have a choice. And by the way, all the Christians now who don't want to hear look cursing, you don't want to hear the Fuck Around and Find Out segment. You know the deal. You just log off and you go pull out your Bible and you pray for me. Okay, that's fine. I love it. I need the prayers, honey child. But we're going to get a little bit more real now. No one is telling you, even somebody said public intoxication is against the law. That too, but we ignore and all this stuff. Right? So we're giving you a lot of space. There's not no old judgmental people. We're giving you plenty of space because some of y'all don't know the score. Our mothers and grannies and aunts, they were out here doing the most. I'm not trying to pretend that we live in a world that we do not live in. Some of y'all don't know who your daddy is. Josha, look at me very, very closely. You see these big eyes? That's because I know who I fought. He couldn't deny me. On his funeral service, there was no doubt about who my papa is. Okay? I now got recently get acknowledged by nobody. No DNA test was required because, yes, he gave me the stamp of approval called frog eyes, bullfrog, as you want to say. I'm going to earn it. And I can show y'all a picture of me and Uric Solomon, and you can see exactly what I mean, where I get them eyes from. So you can bring it any which way you want, and I will own it. Call me a motherfucking bullfrog. But girl, you have not had the opportunity to truly look at yourself. And I'm not gonna go down that road with you because there's so much I could say about your appearance. See him there? That's his name. Let me make you put some respect to it. Okay? That is who he is, Uric Solomon. And if you knew him, he wasn't nobody that somebody like you could walk up to and have anything to say because he would box you right down. That's the kind of person, that's how he rolled back in the day. So yes, I got my bullfrog look from him. Good. I hope that made you feel better. Charles, just log off now. You don't need to be part of the conversation. Before you get yourself blocked, just log off and go do something else. Go listen to Compass News and look over on that side. All right. So this is where I get my bullfrog eyes from. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. You think that that's going to impact me? You think I can lose 1 minute of sleep because that's the best that you could actually come with? Yep. Stamp. No DNA test needed. Like I said, he wasn't denying nobody. If anything, he was probably claiming more than he had. Yeah, no family drama there, honey chill. I know who my papa is. So, when you decide, because obviously you can't be comfortable in your own skin, to put your front, your back, and everything else out there, knowing that you have a public persona where you're trying to sit in a seat and pretend that you're somebody who could read the news, and you're out in these streets looking like this, it's not a good look. Don't come for me, bitch. Because if you really want to know the truth, I wasn't coming for you on Tuesday. I didn't even know who you were. You think everybody know you, baby. I didn't know who you were when I first looked at that picture. It was during the course of the show that somebody said, wait a minute, isn't that Zosa? And I'm like, who the fuck is Zosa? Oh, the Compass girl reading the news. I've watched you once. And I was like, people complaining about my AI. And I'm like, are y'all serious? Yes, the AI bumping its head and whatever, but at least the lips fucking straight. At least it can pronounce 90% of the words correctly. You see, you done gone and fuck around and you're gonna find out here today. I don't really want to have to come for you. Because although you're talentless, I'm muted. No. Refresh yourself, honey child. Make sure you're refreshed because I ain't muted. Because although you believe that you have so much talent that you could step to certain people on the behalf of all Caymanians that you have mistreated, I come in for you today. I'm going to show you. Yes, caller, good morning.
Hello, is it me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good morning, Sandra.
Yes.
I want to kind of steer you off of that part you're trying to go down on, right? But yeah, it don't look good on you. I can tell you that straight. You're bigger than this. Yeah, but I want to tell you something. It's in this day and age. I've been on YouTube and I've been watching YouTube and I've seen some of these big show people who do their podcasts and stuff. The biggest ones I've seen. You know who the who the biggest interviewers are? These OnlyFans people. And I still don't get how they make millions of dollars out of OnlyFans.
Because sex sells.
Yeah, well, I guess they have a market for that, yeah, but that don't make it right? Because I've seen one on there, they had this, what it was, 100 in a day. She slept with over 100 people in one day, and then months later, she says she can't find a real man to marry her.
100? They had one that she broke a record for how many people she slept with, and now she's in the hospital sick because they must have pulled out her fucking panani, and now she's complaining about, she don't know what's wrong with her. When you sleep with 1,000 men, what do you think happened to you?
No, but what I'm trying to say, most of these people throw morality out the door, and I expect people to respect them in the same ways as you respect somebody who has morals. Okay, I want to say this soca thing that we're talking about. I almost 50 now, so I'm coming a long way. From a young age, I learned that soca songs are the slackest things.
Listen, it's not just, let me say something. It's not just soca song, you know. Because if you go back to songs from the 30s, even before soca existed.
I'm not born that time.
Well, I'm still telling you. I'm still telling you that even those old time songs that they used to do little jukebox dancing to, when you listen to the words, some of them nasty as they could be.
Yeah. Okay, I say that to say this. I digress. I say that to say this. What you expect when they're training them from then? It's a program. And then Cayman, look at it. We have almost, they say 80,000 people here, right? I say maybe 70,000. Out of that 70,000, we might have that born here that are generational Caymanians. We might have 14 to 18,000. So that makes us a minority in our own system. So the cultures around us is not our own. When I see Pirates Week had a Filipino floating it, I stopped going Pirates Week, and that's over 10 years ago. They don't make sense. They're including things that in our culture that is not cultural. It's like Pirates Week itself. I can't practice pirates in no time of the year. But if you go in a dictionary and look what a pirate is, you'll understand it's nothing that's good. A a part of Jamaica sank because of piracy, Port Royal. That's where they had parley, where all the thieves and all the robbers and all the rapists could trade. But after 920, they could trade their whores and they could trade their slaves and all them kind of things. That don't make it right. But yet we celebrated it for over 40 years. I have never carried any of my kids to Pirates Week. And I have kids that are 25, but the oldest. And I would never do it. But guess what? I know to stay in my own lane. Because
when you don't stay in your own lane, you can fuck around and find out.
Yeah, but it's like you say about this Pride Parade. If you had put up anything about that, people would have ball out. I would have ball out too. Because I grew up all my life they were telling me this is wrong. So how can I change now after they program me that this is wrong? But you know what I do? They can't call me homophobic because I've never insulted one. I've never assaulted one. And I would never do that unless they step in my lane. But I would not carry my child to go and view that if I see I'm doing something out of my way that I say is too outrageous. Again, make sure to turn my way. I'm not going to put myself in a situation. Do not put yourself in a situation. This girl called you out of your name. Yeah?
No. This not gonna be about me this morning. I want you to.
No, but
I want you to understand.
It's been about you with this girl. No, it's been about you with this girl calling you frog eyes.
Yeah.
What?
No.
I don't want you to go down that lane with them.
Let me back it up just a little bit, right? This isn't about me, right? As much as y'all want to think, that's why I want to show the picture of where I get my frog eyes from, and the fact that I am very proud to be able to claim my frog eyes from York Solomon. That is a stamp of who I am as a Caymanian. So I don't want nobody to get it twisted. That ain't no fucking insult to me. Right?
No, but you play tit for tat. It don't make sense.
If somebody insulted my moral compass, if somebody insulted me being a good wife or a good mother, then we would have a real problem here this morning. So it's not about her insulting me. It's that she is the type of person I have come to find out who not only going to insult me, who she don't even know, right? Trying to judge me on looks, but she's the type of person who will run Caymanians off the fucking job. And that is where I'm going to be taking the conversation here this morning. I'm not going after her looks. Everybody can look at her and make their own judgment about what they think about her. I'm not going there. I want to go in the position where we allow people to come here, become part of us, become part of our community. And they still out there holding Caymanians down and having the most negativity to say about Caymanians, even on a public page.
But son, it's bigger than her. You know? That what you're talking about is she's.
I'm aware of that. I'm aware it's bigger than her.
Of that. She's in a needle. If you're going to highlight that, you have to highlight it holistically.
But Bobo, you don't listen to the show, or what?
Every day, even when I don't want to. Even when I don't want to, every day.
So I didn't highlight it. Hold on, stick a pin. I didn't highlight it on Wednesday with Maples and Calder and them fuckers over there.
And I loved it.
Okay, so why is she gonna be any different?
No, she is nobody. Sorry to say that, but highlight using your platform. You have okay. Let me tell you something. I have a love-hate relationship with you. Like, tell my mother that every day, you know. I love that you bring the news, but you see, when you bring in certain things, like, it don't make sense to me. Like, certain personal stuff where if it never had a platform, it would not be there, and it really hurts certain people that I don't even know, you know, but I could put my foot in the shoe and say, boy, if I was that person, how would I feel? Even though I made my mistake, because everybody make mistakes. But I don't want to see you going down a lane where you can use your platform as
so you think it's almost. But you think it's a mistake when people continually disparage our own talent, our own Caymanians? You think that that's a mistake?
No, if you keep on doing it, it can never be a mistake. If you do it one time, it's possible a mistake, you know. But if you do it more, okay, like they say, shame me once, shame on you. Shame me twice is shame on me. Because if you do it 2 times, it's a practice thing, so that you meant to do that.
But she does it all the time.
No, but she's still a nobody.
All right. Thank you, caller. I appreciate it.
No, but what I want to
But
say,
I got another caller. You've been on for 8 minutes now. Give the other caller a chance.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. Use what she's doing to highlight the whole scenario of what's happening here. Don't use her. Use what is happening. The whole system of Maple and Collars and everybody else, the big wigs, even in government, use that energy to go after that, not after a singular thing. It don't make sense. That's all I'm saying. Thank you.
All right, my dear. All right, we got another caller. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
Good morning from Nebraska. Sandra, how you doing?
It's FAFO Friday. What's going on, Carrie?
Well, fuck around. Let's find out.
I mean,
I got in one today too, but I love the picture of you and your dad, and I remembered him well. And yeah, fuck with him. He was a straight shooter, so maybe that's you got your strength from him, and that meant that way as well. But who is this Zosa woman, and what is this crap all about?
You gotta hit the rewind button after the show. We can't recap the whole show, but go back and rewind it.
All right, I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. But what I'm saying, I'm listening to some of the callers now, and I'm wondering, why would they not want you to express yourself about what she has said about you?
This is typical Caymanians, you know.
I know.
I must, and like I said, this goes beyond me, right? But let me break it down for you, Carrie. I must remain professional. I must rise above this. Oh, Sandy, you mustn't have an FOFO moment with this young lady, okay? Because you must show her. No, what she needs to be shown is a fucking reality check. Because if she was anywhere else in the world, she would get an FOFO moment. But Caymanians, listen, as Caymanians, we are our own worst enemy.
Oh, yeah.
We are always told, oh, you must be better than them. You mustn't cuss. You mustn't do this. If you don't want to hear it, I tell y'all to click the fucking button and log off.
Hello? Exactly.
So Charles Clark up in here. Oh, you're literally fucking fuming over a comment. You missed the whole show, Charles, or you just not paying the fuck attention? What do you?
And is this Zosa woman, she's not Caymanian, right?
Well, she got Cayman status now, so you know how that go.
Oh,
those of you who are...
We need to start revoking that shit, too.
He talking about, music in the 30s? You see, y'all don't even know your own history. Y'all don't even know what you're talking about. You don't know world history. You don't know Cayman history. You don't know where half of this stuff is coming from. I'm going to play y'all a song, and like I said, no children should be listening to this show because this is an FOFO moment. And this is what music was popular in the 1930s, Lucille Bogus, and there's many, many more songs like it about your D is too big.
Exactly. You know what?
Y'all not got no sense. You don't know anything. You don't know music. You don't know. Go out there and educate yourselves. I'm no genius.
Sparrow, saltfish, clam, sparrow, saltfish.
What do you think all these songs about you, Julie Mango, and Sandra, give me this and that, whatever. We have been over-sexualized, but it not start from yesterday. That's why I say to the young people who say, but y'all being approved, this and that, them old people doing the most. I agree with them. Our lack of morality, but it keeps getting worse.
Caribbean women.
It keep getting worse is what I'm saying. We're not pulling back, not at all. Thank you, Carrie.
All right, take care.
Oh God, some of y'all Instagram folks about to get blocked. Woo, poor y'all. Who this fugly one trying to come for people? You wouldn't have to rise up if you did clog your fucking mouth to begin with, but you're too blood clot enough. Yeah, and you're not enough. What your name is? ABH4D, some stupid name. You're not enough. Okay? You are not enough. Because if you were enough, you would go and try to read and listen to the conversation that was actually had on Tuesday's show. So you're not enough. You don't have enough sense. No one said anything negative. And I want to stress this about her looks. What was the conversation that was had is the outfits are going too far. The stringy, I don't even call them carnival outfits. It's going too far. So, Charles, just log off. Save yourself the headache this morning and come off. Listen to part of this song from the 1930s. Lucille Bogan. And they wasn't bleeping on nothing.
Every time we go out, you treat me right. So afterward, I don't want to say good night. But then you'll whip it out, and the whole night is sung. What can I do with that elephant strong? Your dick is too big, it hangs down to your socks. Your dick is too big, it feels like 3 or 4 o'clock. Every time I see it, I let out a prayer. Your dick is too big, no way you're sticking it down.
I'm going to just pause it there because we're not trying to make this an OnlyFans XXX moment. But what I'm going to say is you guys have to fully understand that this is not nothing new. The music has always been there. People have always had a choice on where they wanted to be in this world. Okay? And now our young people have a choice. They can go out in these streets and be flaunting it and be doing the most, or they can choose to have a more modest existence and keep certain things to themselves. Y'all think that this song is unusual? There's a little skit that I saw some time ago on Instagram or one of them, where the father comes into a room and say, "What is kind of dirty music you listening to now with this artist and whatever?" The funny thing is, she said, "Okay, well, let me put on something from the 30s." And when he heard songs like this, he's like, "You know what? Go back to listening to your 2025 music." Because it is the same sort of foolishness. So you will have to choose. If you want to be out in the street skimping out and have your bananas and buttholes all over the place, that is your prerogative. But what I'm telling you is you cannot do it and then jump up in front of people and try to pretend like you're a decent person who can read any blood clot news to anybody. People will judge you based on your appearance, and people will judge you based on what you do in public. And that includes having your front out for everybody to see. And believe me when I tell you, nobody not losing control here on this fuck around and find out show. I am very much in control of what I am saying. But some of y'all need it to be brought home in a very different kind of way. And I'm happy to do that. Okay? So be very, very clear. When you're out in the streets like this, and then Auntie Sandy gets all of these messages from all over the place, and I'm telling you, it wasn't me getting them. People were sending it to me as soon as, I don't even think Carnival had finished yet. Yes, you're going to be discussed on social media. Are you shocked and surprised by that? Zosha, are you really shocked and surprised that people are like, wow, she's the Compass girl? Regan, wow, she's Miss K-Man? Okay. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You want to be prim and proper from 5 to 6 o'clock, Monday to Friday, and then skinning out in the streets for Carnival and K-Mass on a Saturday? No. That's not how that works. So when we had the discussion on Tuesday's show, we were just like, these outfits not hardly covering anything anymore. Where are we going? What are next year's costumes going to be looking like? Nobody wasn't calling you no names. which if I wanted to, I could have picked a couple colorful things to call you. No, we were not about that. You went there and you got responded to. And then when I find out that, wow, this is someone who is constantly trying to hold people down in the workplace. Y'all want to talk foolishness about somebody murdered Andrel? ABH, try and shut your fucking mouth. Let me just block you to save you the trouble now. Lexi, let me just block you to save you the trouble, okay? Go away. Go listen to the compass and get your kicks over there. That's what you must do. The point is this. Y'all sit here talking about, oh, somebody murdered Andrel. That's rich. Because he having to work with bitches like this on a regular basis and others who is making that man's life miserable and stressed out. He already had resigned from the compass and sent them a very scathing message about why he resigned, the people that he had to work with. Y'all need to look at the real situation, the real reasons. And my point is this. You're not going to come here and do what you do to Caymanians at the workplace. Treat them the way that you do Zosa or whatever the hell your name is. Get out on a public platform. How many of you had the audacity, including ABH, to stand up and speak up for Dean Ramon when he shared his comment of how he was treated? I saw how few likes it got. You don't think that resonates with me? Let me go back and show you, because you probably have forgotten what you just saw a few minutes ago. At the time that this person screenshot this, 17 likes and 2 comments. You see, dumping the who to frighten. Dean even took it down because he didn't want to cause no strife with Compass. Y'all think I care about Compass and Zosa? When you're not living up to what you need to be doing and supporting other people in your industry. Her comment was uncalled for. How many of you said to her, Zosa, you shouldn't be saying that. You want to come to me this morning, talk foolishness about what I should be saying and what I'm saying and blah, blah, blah? Well, I have to say to you, you're entitled to your opinion. Good for you. But the real question is, when you should have been saying something to Zosa about her attacking Rico, about her attacking Dean, about her attacking her interns, how many of you took a stand then? But you gonna talk foolishness coming at me. Don't come for me today. Trust me, don't come. Nobody not sent for you. And you do not need to come. Okay? Unfollow, unlike, go away. Because I am here to stand for things that Caymanians have long respected, including our own people. And if you don't like that, well, then that's too bad for you. Yes, we believe if we sweep it under the rug, that it's going to make it somehow better. You can imagine we're living in a world where you guys would rather believe that there's some big conspiracy theory and that some organized crime, somebody killed him in a horrific way where his body will never be found. You guys would rather believe that foolishness than the cold hard truth, which is the man was too stressed out with all sorts of stuff from life. And some of the stresses were the very people that he was working with. So they can't come for me, you know. I'm a different kettle of tea, a cup of tea altogether. She can call me anything she wants. When I look at the balance in my bank account, I don't see her name attached to that nowhere. When I'm out here trying to make property acquisitions, I don't see her name attached to that nowhere. Every month when I got paid mortgages, I don't see her name attached to that nowhere. Yeah. When I got paid that CUC bill, I don't see her name attached to that nowhere. And had it been, let me just make this clear. Had it been just her calling me a bullfrog, I addressed her already. I had no intentions of talking about it. It's when I wake up this morning and I see all these other messages from Caymanians who have been impacted by her. So she gets a right to come to Cayman, get a little piece of paper, and can say the most about our people and put our people down however she want. But heaven forbid, big-chested Auntie Sandy should open her fucking mouth. Y'all got a problem with it. Well, you can have a problem with it all you want. That was wrong with Caymanians now. That was wrong with us now. We're not taking up for each other. We'd rather take up for the paper Caymanian, the foreigner who come here that you don't even know. That is who you want to be riding with. Well, ride with them all you want. But you don't get to tell me who I'm going to be riding with. And quite frankly, I'm going to ride with people who stand for the right thing. It's not about Carnival no more, El Rey. You losing the plot if you don't understand where we have gone. This has nothing to do with Carnival. No amount of conversation about this is going to stop y'all from skinning out the streets. Go ahead, knock yourselves out. When you're sitting on the job and, oh, nobody don't respect me, this and that, they probably saw you winding up on that car, trying to hump a headlight and trying to have sex with a headlight, thinking you could have a headlight AI 2.0 baby. Go ahead. There's a lot of reasons why some of you don't advance in the workplace. And sometimes it doesn't have anything to do with your degrees or your ability to even do the job. It's some of the other shit that y'all be out here in the streets doing. And y'all don't want to admit to it. Right now, we have another case, another person who did, no, they were murdered. They were murdered. But none of y'all want to admit that the person was depressed, taking antidepressants. The person was using cocaine, because this is the Cayman that we live in, where everybody's trying to pretend that they got good government job sitting at the top of the totem pole, and their life is a shithole of a life. They got position. They can get up and get dressed and put on makeup. Oh, they don't have, they look nice. And they go sit behind a desk and sit behind a computer. And at lunchtime, they got to go in the bathroom and snort a line of cocaine to continue to function. It's the same reason why we live in a community where children are molested every single day. And if I'm having that conversation, I can't get 800 of you, over 800 people right now on the live stream. Y'all not gonna show up for that conversation. It's the same reason why someone can be in government custody, a 13-year-old child, and be found in the hospital to be giving a man a blowjob, that a man that should never have had access to her. And I don't see any real outrage in this country. This is the foolishness that I'm talking about that is happening here every single day. We have lost the forest for the trees. So don't come for me. Don't worry about me and my bullfrog eyes. Because every single day, me and my bullfrog eyes is sitting here and doing something about the degradation, the continual degradation that I see happening in my country. My country that 51, almost 52 years ago, I was born in, navel string some and some bush in Georgetown still. And I want to see this country be the best country. Everybody else gets to come here. and make the best of it. And we as Caymanians, not supporting each other, not uplifting each other. Y'all want to adopt somebody else's culture and leave your own behind? Look at how far that's gotten us. All these boat cruises, y'all wasting money every weekend on liquor in boat cruises, and then you can't even afford to pay your own friggin' bills. Y'all complaining. Oh, I can't afford nothing in Cayman. I can't afford a house. Maybe if you stop buying fake nails, buying fake hair, spending $500 on a friggin' carnival event, you could save some money and afford something. The height of ridiculousness is really what is going on in this country. And I, for one, am sick and tired of it. We have got to do better. And y'all don't like the cold hard truth. And I personally don't care. Truth be known. I could be running all sorts of businesses as I have in the past, not in front of anybody, not getting criticized for doing nothing, and still making my coins and enjoying my life because I took the time to educate myself. I know how to run a business. I know how to do what I got to do. That's why, yes, I can afford to go buy a car cash if I want to. Get your lives together. This foolishness is not benefiting you. Going out every weekend, leaving your children at home, partying in the streets, drinking your life away. Some of you even committing DUIs, killing people on Cayman streets. How does that benefit you? How does that help you in any way, shape, or form? There's no level of real elevation in this country. We have two extremes. You're either in church or your skirt down to your ankle, or you're out here stripping half naked on poles. Y'all talking about, oh, you want a strip club next. You can be somewhere in the middle. You can still live your life. I'm not telling you to be a hermit crab and never go out anywhere and never do anything. But y'all need to focus a little bit more on the important things in life. Help other people in this community. When was the last time you guys got up and went and volunteered for an NPO? Any of them, they all need volunteers. Boys to men, big brothers, big sisters, they call something else now. Walk a dog, adopt a cat, something meaningful. Y'all not going and having no meaningful conversation with young Caymanians. Y'all can get in here all you want and criticize me as much as you want. But guess what? I'm good. I'm real good. And you know what? Every single time I go to John Gray, Clifton Hunter, CIS, any of these schools, these young people walk up to me, oh, Miss Sandy, can I take a picture with you? I want to talk to you. Because what? I'm not playing with them. I believe in accountability. I believe in responsibility. I believe in rising up. We have had an amazing opportunity in this country that most other Caribbean countries have not had, and yet we are allowing it to go to the dogs. Nobody not talking about no self-care, Vanessa. We're talking about some of you who you do nothing but self-care. You don't even care for your own children as much as you do yourself. Y'all are all about self-care. That's not your problem. I'm saying, how about you stop being so selfish and focus on some of the things that you need to be focused on. Some of us that agreed they were in Gucci and Louis Vuitton and complaining they can't afford land. Make it make sense. It makes sense because we have lost the friggin' plot. That's why it making sense. And that don't make no sense. It's ridiculous. This person says, you know what's crazy? Caymanians fighting you for fighting for Caymanians. I have little hope for Cayman. Y'all need to do better. Seriously, y'all really have got to do better. Gabby says facts. Marjorie talks about the beautification committee in West Bay needing volunteers. Y'all not gonna go out and do that though. Why are you at the nail salon and the hair salon? Listen, you don't have to like what I say, you know. Trust me, like I tell you, every single day we wake up and we make choices. You have a choice to not listen. You have a choice to unfollow. You have a choice to never hear the cold hard truth and live your life in a bubble. And what I'm going to say to you is the real question is, how far is that going to get you? Our forefathers were not perfect. God knows they made their fair share of bad decisions and mistakes. But they sacrificed a lot. They understood a thing or two about hard work. I'm not gonna kill you. I see this thing floating around saying that, you could pay some people to sleep and they would wake up and say and quit because they say it's still too hard. Miss Claudia, good morning. Miss Claudia says, take a call. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Sandy.
Morning, my dear.
Boy, there's some of my ruffle your feathers today.
And so many people are missing the whole point, you know?
I know, but you are making them feel important when you are prolonging this conversation about these people.
Yeah,
they are looking for attention.
Well, they're gonna get their 15 minutes because they've been harassing and doing the most of Humanians for a hot minute and not adding anything meaningful to this community. The twerking and half nakedness they out in the streets, not adding nothing to us. Call quality.
What I saw, I went out. I didn't go to the parade because I'm beyond that stage now. But the thing about it is the way that I seen some of these women dress, and not even dressed myself, been naked. They got one little triangle thing in front of their crotch. Over their breasts, they got one little thing no bigger than about a 25-cent piece. And these are, how can a woman be treated like a lady when she's treating herself like a prostitute? And I don't think sometimes prostitutes doesn't even do that because they want to pick up an expensive night, and these are the things. But what they're actually doing to you, and knowing that they ruffle your feathers, Sandy, you're too much of a good person. This country needs people like you. If you come down with a heart attack, you think these people are going to come to visit you?
No, but let me tell you something, Mr. Dexter. It is worth getting my feathers ruffled, as you say, when I'm speaking up for my people. So let's just leave it there.
I mean, if it's one person you look out, that you will speak out, and you don't pull any strings. And the thing about it is that we need you because there are so many people that even people that I've heard say, oh, Sandy is this and Sandy is that. But now they are thinking you're the best thing this size sliced bread. People need you because you bring a lot of stuff to the forefront that we haven't even had the opportunity to know. We have been like a mushroom in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, on the positive side, I want to give a big shout out to a little guy that I was walking my dog the other evening, and he was running behind me. So I went up at the yacht club roundabout. When I came back, he took out a big commercial, the big black commercial plastic bags, and he was picking up garbage that people had thrown on the road. He brought his own plastic bag, so it's obvious that that's what his intention was after he ran. So I went to him and I says, you know what? I want to congratulate you. A lot of people wouldn't congratulate you for that, but I want to congratulate you. And he said, I'm not from here, but so happy that I live in a country which is clean. And he, you know, he wants to give back. He says, I had a little time to spare. I got to go to work later on, but I have the opportunity to pick up the garbage. Is unfortunate that people would throw the garbage on the street, and he must have had how he got it home. I don't know. You need a truck to carry that bag home, you know. And he was so happy. So I said to him, I said, "Can you give me a name?" He said, "No, that's unimportant." He says, "I'm not here to get any recognition for it. I just want to feel like I'm part of the community." And finally, he reluctantly gave me his name. His name is Iwanyan, Iwayyan. His middle name is Wira. Wara. Dharma is his last name, and he was from Indonesia, Bali, I think it is. And it made me feel good. Another person that would come from another country, and we as so many Caymanians, not every Caymanian will criticize a foreigner or an immigrant, and what are they doing for their country?
Thank you, Mr. Dexter. Leave me there. Have a good weekend.
Sandy.
All right, darling.
Okay.
All right, my dear.
And before I go, I got one for you to cheer you up. You know, some university have did a research in diarrhea, and they found out that it's hereditary. It runs in the genes.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Caller, good morning.
Hey, Sandy, how are you?
Not bad. How are you?
Good. I just wanted to make a comment. You know, it's not just the people that need to be held accountable. It's also government that needs to be held accountable. You know, and I don't want to, you know, keep whipping this horse. But as long as you keep on allowing people to get away with what they're getting away with, coming here and getting away with what they're getting away with, and you do what you need to do, and you file what you need to file. It goes to the DPP's office. It goes to WRC. It goes to the Labor Department. You go all these channels, and nothing is really done about it. They get slaps on the wrist. They get a fine. There's no record. So these people that are here on either work permits, permanent residency, who file for status, there's no record showing that they did anything wrong here. No record. So with my situation, as you know, there's no record because there was fines to be paid. That's an admission of guilt, as you and I had spoken on before.
Right.
Okay? So I know he is going to be, or if he has not already, filed for status. Nothing of this situation, which everything he was doing by law, labor law, and how he abused employees, stole from employees, and has done everything he's done to steal from government. Part of the Cayman Islands regiment to make himself look good. No record. None. And this is what Cayman wants here. These are the type of people that are being permitted to be status holders on the island of Grand Cayman and the Cayman Islands overall. Now, you and I both know I'm an expat. I'm married to a Caymanian. I was with my Caymanian partner for 33 years. I take that back, 32 years before we finally got married. I'm a spouse of a Caymanian. But I have been here since 1995. I have watched what has happened to this island. I have watched what's happened to the people of this island. And it's sickens me. It sickens me that people will bitch and complain, but they do nothing about it. They don't stick to it. They don't put their foot down and say, enough is enough. I've had enough and I'm sick and tired of it.
Yeah.
Why? Why isn't anything changing? I want to call this individual out so bad, Sandy, and you know I do. You know I do. You know I want him exposed. I have all the receipts.
And he's paid an administrative fine, you're saying. They allowed him to pay an administrative fine.
Well, I sent you the emails. What the last officer said. He was fined and it's closed. Administrative fine and it's closed. No, nothing more. Nothing more.
Yeah. Well, even an administrative fine, that should be the sort of thing which goes against you when you try to apply for status.
But it doesn't. It doesn't. When I went through all of this with WRC and I asked them, the officer, if this does not go to court, DPP's office takes it to court, then what happens? He said it's a wash. He gets fined, or the guilty gets fined. They pay the fine, and then it's a wash deal. There's no record. That's what WORC told me. But yet this person can steal from government and steal from the people, and nothing is done. I'm sick of it. I'm disgusted with it. And by God, Caymanians, stand up and say something, do something, and stop your bitching and complaining. Do it.
Thank you. So here's the thing, folks. I see some of the comments on Instagram. I have to wonder if y'all are actually paying close attention or what the hell's going on. No one, Vanessa, has any issue with paper Caymanians. My husband's a paper Caymanian. Many others, I have lots of friends that are paper Caymanians, and they're now Caymanians. And I have always said when people come in here, the law sees no different between the two. That's not even what... The fact that you somehow, that's where you go with this conversation to me is like, what? Somebody else said, well, you're the one who always tearing Caymanians down. Okay. Let me try to break it down. I got to finish reading Miss Claudia's letter here in a minute. But let me try and bring it home and break it down for y'all. When I hold people accountable, I don't care who they are. I don't care if they're Caymanian, if they're my own sister, my cousin, best friends, Jamaican, Filipinos, it doesn't matter. So I'm not tearing down Caymanians for no good reason. If you do shit, you're gonna fuck around and find out, just like everybody else. And the fact that you're a Caymanian, multi-generational, who've been here for, you claim, 1,000 years, don't have nothing to do with it. So how is that tearing Caymanians down? Holding everybody equally accountable, including Caymanians. Oh, you don't want Caymanians to be held accountable because then that's tearing them down. No. But what I'm talking about this morning is someone that we have given the privilege to be able to come here, and I'm pretty sure, I don't care what her last name is, have a better life in Cayman than she would have had in Jamaica, get Cayman status, and then she has the audacity to think that she is better than people and tear other people down. That is what I'm talking about. And if you don't get that, and the most that you can go on with this morning is about, oh, well, you be tearing people down. Yeah, because I'm holding Caymanians accountable and y'all don't want to be held accountable. You don't get a pass because you're a Caymanian. In fact, this is our country and we have an obligation. Don't worry, John Doe. You can't even put up your real name. You such a pussy. Poor you. Hi. Listen, I come here, folks. You just set up this little account. I'll do the favor and block you. But before I block you, okay, let me say this. I sit here every single day and I can take my licks and you get to see my face, you get to hear my voice, and you get to hear my name. You fake asses wanna be John Does. Don't even have the gall to come straight. Vanessa, I gotta at least give you credit. At least you didn't go create a fake account. If you wanna come for me, come under a real account. Oh, I would, but I like my job. Really? Everybody likes their job. Speak your mind. You're not saying anything that's going to get you fired. No, because you don't have no backbone. Good morning, caller.
Yes, Sandy, it's me again.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to read aloud to your listening audience. This is the response I got back from WORC on the case that I filed, and it took 10 months. But the beginning of it all, again, started March of 2024. And again, they had every receipt, they had every picture, they had every bank transfer, what this guy was doing.
I'm going to stop you right there, caller, because you're going to go down a bit of a rabbit hole that we're not on. But this is what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to give you an opportunity on Monday's show to bring all of your receipts, and we will name and expose this man. If he has admitted guilt and he has paid an administrative fine, well, guess what? That is something that can be put in the public domain.
It does. Let me just clarify with you now. The response does say resulted in the company being administratively fined and is now closed.
Okay, that's fine. We can deal with it. But let's do that on a show where we're going to highlight these employers yet again who engage in this type of behavior. Okay. Reach out to me. We'll have yet another dedicated show to that exact same topic, which we do all the time. We call out everybody and don't care where he's from. He was taking advantage of his workers, wasn't paying them, wasn't giving them the proper allotment, and it is what it is. He's admitted guilt, so we can do a feature on him. Like I said, y'all fuck around, you're going to find out. It's as simple as that. Marjorie says, live a decent life and you have nothing to worry about. That's the message. Stand up for the good. Vanessa, this ain't got nothing to do with you having a piece of paper. Don't get in your feelings about that. You want to have a conversation about how you don't feel like you're a Caymanian despite having a piece of paper? Reach out to Amy Mobley. She's going to have a wonderful show called This Side of Paradise. You can open up and talk all about your feelings. That's not what I'm here talking about this morning. I'm talking about people. And just like on Wednesday's show, because y'all wasn't here on Wednesday, you were not paying attention. When I called out not only the Caymanian at Maples HR manager, but I also called out some of our own Caymanians who will sit in a position, be hired by these expat law firms, accounting firms, this and that, and still hold their own people down. We addressed them on Wednesday's show, but you weren't listening to that. Y'all can't pick and choose which conversations you want to engage in and pretend like you actually know what I stand for. If you want to know what I stand for, you got to be here on a regular and consistent basis. Because one thing with me, I'm not talking out both sides of my mouth. I'm straight. And so even our own people that hold Caymanians down in the workplace and other places, that is a problem. And we address that situation as well. Once again, the point is this. It is a privilege if you're not a Caymanian by, how can I say this? Because we got so many forms of it now. By descent, and you had to apply to get it, and you have to get a piece of paper, not acknowledgement, then you have an extra responsibility because you see, you have somewhere else that you can go. You can pick up and leave. We expect something differently from you in terms of the level of respect that you're going to bring. You don't get to just disparage other Caymanians of the soil and think that you're never going to be addressed. That's the point. I am just sometimes flabbergasted at the conversations. I'm disappointed in so many of our people. Amy says, why is this so hard for people to understand? Every time a Caymanian speaks up, the conversation only becomes about the Caymanian speaking up and never about the disrespect that they're speaking up about. I don't know. I honestly do not know. And you know what is so funny? Amy, let me tell you something. Some of these same people who will sit down and criticize me, the first time they get fired from a job or they have an issue or somebody doing something to them, who you think they're going to call if not me? The same ones that be complaining about me all the time. Her mouth too fucking big. She's too this, she's too that, blah, blah, blah. When you get in trouble, when something happened to you, when an injustice has come to your doorstep, your foot, you will come looking for me. And guess what, Vanessa and all the rest of you? I'm gonna ride for you and with you just as hard as anybody. And I don't even know you. Because to me, it doesn't matter. An injustice to one is an injustice for all. I have had people, my own friends, what are you helping that person for? You don't remember when they were on Instagram saying this about you and they were on Facebook saying this about you? And I said, that's okay. That's cool. Because if someone has done you wrong, I will look out for you. That's the irony of it when people have so much to say. Vanessa, I saw your comment about how you're doing so much in the community and this, that. You're speaking out about child abuse? Are you speaking out about, LGBT members who whenever we post something about them, y'all are in the comments being so hateful, impacting their mental health, but you don't care about that. So only some people get to, or we're only going to care about the mental health of some people, or we're only going to use that excuse some of the time. That's not how it works. My message to Zoja, or whatever the hell her name is, and everybody else who wants to, be in her position, wants to be in her shoes, and you think that's something to emulate. It's not. You're not going to climb any kind of celebrity ladder by stepping on interns, by stepping on Dean Ramoon, by stepping on Rico, or anybody else to get where you think you're going to go. Especially young, talented Caymanians. You will never get anywhere further than reading the Compass news and having 5 people watch you at 6 o'clock. Let's continue reading this message from Miss Claudia. She says, I know that although there may be issues that we do not all agree on, and that's quite understandable. But although you've never professed to be a Christian, which I've publicly proclaimed to be, it's clear that you do not have to be a Christian to have strong morals and clearly define what's decency versus indecency. And also these values were instilled from a young age and clearly a part of the culture you were raised. Thank you so much for not compromising your stance on this. It's very sad to see where our little island has come over the years. We seem to value and are more ready to adopt other countries' cultures, and I'm going to add the bad part of their cultures, yeah, than to defend and uphold our own. I've said for a long time that Caymanians no longer have an identity. We don't really know who we are. Living in the US for a number of years, and although a citizen, I'm Caymanian to the core, while respecting and acknowledging the privilege of being allowed to be a US citizen. It's a sad day when our children and grandchildren are struggling to truly understand who they are. Anyway, didn't intend this to be so long, but thank you so much. And I pray for wisdom and guidance for you as you continue in this role. Of course, I also pray that you'll become a strong Christian, because I know you'll be as strong in defending your faith as you are when addressing other topics you feel strongly about. Blessings, Miss Claudia. Thank you so much, Miss Claudia. It's a very, very sad indictment on us that we always pick up the worst of any culture. Listen, Jamaica has 3 million people. Amazing diversity, amazing people. And yet, if we gonna bring in 500, we gonna find 500 of the worst to bring in. Isn't that something? They've got amazing music, but we gonna pick the worst of the music. There has got to be something special about Caymanians, you know? And that's not a compliment. I can't say no more. And in fact, I have work to do, because some of y'all, I wonder is whether you got any work to do. I have work to do. I've got an important project, an acquisition that I'm working on. And so I've got to be working to submit a lot of documents. You see, y'all think this is all fun and games, and that Auntie Sandy just sit here, talking foolishness. No, I have a whole set of businesses. I'm building a business empire. I am working hard every single day, struggling just like everybody else. We all have our struggles. Yeah. Doing what I have to do to elevate. It's easy when you can sit on the other side of this microphone and think that, oh, all she does is talk foolishness, and oh, she's just a bully and this and that. Y'all don't have no clue. Y'all don't have no clue. Somebody just said they weren't too keen on seeing Regan Ruddy out there looking like that either. Y'all don't have no clue, but that's okay. I don't need you to have a clue, because, like I tell people, be very, very sure of yourself when you are in this space, because people will undoubtedly, El Ray say he working, he just multitasking. You will undoubtedly crumble if you're not right in your head. So just to be very, very clear about that. Yeah? Now, it's Friday. I hope that y'all have a safe and wonderful weekend. And just remember, I'm out here working, CMR TV coming online fully. We've already got Miss Sabrina Turner. Don't forget to tune in at 5 o'clock. Your number one drive time show already. That woman is killing it. Has her own personality, doing her own thing. What Paradise say? Most of us don't have someone who will pay for schooling for a law degree, so your situation different. Is that what you think? You think my situation different? Okay. When I was at USF, not knowing where my next meal was coming from, didn't have a place to stay, right? Got a job so I could get room and board, and still a full-time student, while I saw Caymanians coming there lying about their daddy own boats and living in private condos, or getting government scholarships and going to the University of Tampa on government dime. I remember when I toured the University of Tampa, they were like, oh, you're from the Cayman Islands? I said, no, let's not get it twisted. I'm originally from the Cayman Islands, been in the US for over 10 years. So nobody in Cayman not giving me no government scholarship right now. I paying for this myself. So what we need to talk about, you got a Cayman wing. I don't need to see no Cayman wing. What I need to see is how am I going to be able to afford this tuition? Because I got to work. I got to apply for scholarships. I got to keep my grades up so that I can get scholarships. I have to go out there and compete in debates and all sorts of stuff to get scholarships. So don't make no bones about it. We all have our own stories to tell, Paradise Thinkers. Everybody has their own road to travel, some harder than others. And what I know is if you really want something, you will make the necessary sacrifices to get it. You think I wanted to be sharing a triple X pizza, getting 2 slices of that and putting in my little $2 back in the day? But I did what I had to do. Because the bigger goal was to educate myself so in the future, I wouldn't have to be begging nobody for nothing. So yes, 3-4 degrees later, none of those was handed to me. Okay? Every day, you all, including myself, are going to wake up and have to make choices. All I'm saying is all of us, myself included in this, could really try to make some better choices. Right? Because when we don't recognize the importance of this quote. Now, someone has attributed this to Gandhi. I don't actually think that it's him, but it could be him. I mean, I never knew that it was him actually that said it. I think it transcends him. There's a number of different people taking credit for it, but nonetheless, I'm going to put this up here because this is really, quite frankly, what it comes down to. We will all falter. We will all make poor decisions. We will all do things and, oh man, tomorrow you wake up and go, why the hell did I do that? But if you're not at least trying every day to make a little improvement, to do a little bit better, I want y'all to read this quote and to take this in. Because this quote is very, very important. I have known this for probably 30, 40 years now. And every once in a while, I whip it out and try to remember this. Watch your thoughts. They become words. Watch your words. They become actions. Watch your actions. They become habits. Watch your habits. They become character. Watch your character. It becomes your destiny. Someone reminded me again this morning of this, and they said, please remind your listeners of this. Ms. Brenda says, when you throw a stone in a pig pen, the one that squeals is the one that got hit. Ms. Margie says, some people don't have a clue on what we have to go through for a better life for ourselves. They think everything was handed to us in a silver platter. You know, sometimes you sit down, you're like, I wish it was handed to me in a silver platter, but then you know if that was the case, you wouldn't be the kind of person that you are today. It is the rough patches, the tough times that mold the diamond into that sparkly thing at the end of the day that all of you really, really want to be like, oh my God, that's so pretty. Look at how sparkly it is. It doesn't get there without friction. And so friction is a natural part of life, and there's nothing wrong with it. We all have to learn how to deal with the different situations that we have been handed. Nobody's life around here is no bed of roses. Thank you, Javid. Pressure. So as you think that you're rising up in life, if you can't help other people along the way, what good is that? Mr. Roy Barton said it best yesterday when Sabrina Turner interviewed him. She said, what's your number one regret in life? And you know what the man said? Early on in life, he was too selfish. He wishes that he was more involved in his community. And that took me aback. I was like, wow, really? I didn't expect him to say that. You guys might think this platform tears people down, but you would have no clue. The number of people that we have helped and that we elevate on a daily basis, all different means and ways. And so that's why when people make comment like that, I'm like, out of business. The Caymanians that work on my team, if you ever talk to them, because they get to see the messages, they know how grateful people are for what we do. Paradise, I get you. And that is why I believe in each one help one. Right? I can never sit back and say, oh, I've made it as a Caymanian. I'm a success story. If I'm not continually helping someone else. You understand? Each one help one. And if more of us had that mentality, more of us had that attitude, I can tell you, we would be in a much better position. The bottom line is this. Don't disrespect Caymanians. You have your story from wherever you came from. You're here for whatever reason. You have your own plight, whatever. That's fine. But do not come to this country and try to pull anybody down as far as I'm concerned. But most certainly, you're not going to pull Caymanians down. Under no circumstances are we going to sit back and allow that to happen and go unresponded to. And if you have a habitual history of doing that, and multiple people can prove that, that is when, yes, you're going to be highlighted on a platform like this. So she only got my attention because somebody else sent it to me that she was posting about me and calling me names. I address that because, again, nobody is going to step to me, right? As a Caymanian, as a woman, as a member of this community, and come for me, and I'm not going to deal with them. That's not how, no. And I was perfectly happy that she is going to be dealt with other ways. What became a problem and why she became a topic of conversation for the show, for those of you late arrivals who haven't quite gotten it, is because I then became aware that, as somebody says, you want to know how long the list is? It's a long list, Sandy. And Caymanians are at the receiving end of her stink attitude and behavior. That's why she became a topic of conversation here today. Nothing to do with calling me no bullfrog. Poor her. If that's the best insult she could come up with, poor her. I'll take it. I'll take being a bullfrog any day than to have a black, envious heart where you're tearing down people on a public stage at Capella with foreign artists and visitors. Who was there this year? We had Ludacris and what a woman name is again? Ashanti. That is what I'm talking about. And when you see Kenny Rankin actually has to write the compass about her, you know something wrong. Vanessa, can you please go back and try and educate yourself? Go back and watch Tuesday's show, those of you who missed it, who's still talking foolishness about, oh, I didn't do nothing to her because I did something to her. You young ladies want people to respect you. You want men to respect you, but you out in these streets twerking with your pananis hanging out? You can't get no respect like that. I'm not telling you don't participate in carnival. You can participate in carnival. But the example I gave again with Rhonda, let's go back to Rhonda. Rhonda looks beautiful. She represented carnival well. Her outfit was on point. and she was covered. Not a thing wrong with Rhonda's outfit. Look at her. Absolutely gorgeous Caymanian. What is wrong with this? This was the example that I used to say, wow, this represented well. Nobody not picking on no one. Congratulations, Rhonda. Thank you for having a little bit of decency and modesty and still killing it. That carnival outfit still looks amazing. Mm-hmm. See the difference there? No floss. Y'all out here got so much floss going up your little behinds that's why you be getting UTIs and all kind of infections and stuff, because you don't even know that that's not even healthy. Go talk to your gynecologist, because some of you need to educate yourselves. I'm just saying. Miss Brenda says, this is one Caymanian no one can tear down. I don't care who you are, think you are. That's why I'm not popular. There's an African proverb, a speaker of truth has no friends. Honey child. And trust me, you know we don't care already. So, wow. 5 o'clock this evening, folks, please tune in to Sabrina Speaks. Speaking of uplifting other women, I want to say that Sabrina has been doing an amazing job. Tune into her program, 5 to 6:30. She's bringing experience to the table. She's talking about things from her own and different perspective. And I must say that I've been tuning in and really, really enjoying her show and enjoying her programming in the evenings. Today now is going to be her second week, and she has Fridays as her wind down Fridays. Have a little glass of wine and wind down a little bit. You guys have a safe weekend. Please try not to kill yourselves on Cayman streets. You got to look out for yourself and all other drivers. Get your dash cams. We have new inventory, by the way. Shameless plug here. Your dash cams could be the evidence that you need to prove that you didn't cause the accident. Everybody should have a dash cam, including all government vehicles, all buses as well. So get yours today. 5-piece kit, only $4.50. Message me and we'll get it delivered. Have a beautiful weekend.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Cold Hard Truth on Bobo 89.1 FM. Cayman's #1 talk show is live weekdays from 7:30 a.m. Never miss an episode again. Watch anytime on CMR's Facebook and YouTube channels for the latest show episodes. Don't forget to follow us online on our social media channels. And visit CaymanMarlRoad.com for all the latest news and community happenings.